Tonight's gonna be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today. Now in the foot care aisle.
We have exciting news about a special 3-day event, October 10, 11, and 12 at the Audiology Center's Creve Coeur and St. Peter's offices that also includes a $500 coupon. With more details, Dr. Colleen Bosler.
Yes, we are so excited to have Joanne Sellers from Starkey Hearing Technologies. She's an expert audiologist coming in for 3 days. We would love to have you come in, and we'll offer a free hearing screening, free hearing aid cleaning of your current hearing aids, as well as free earwax removal. We'd love to test your hearing, then we can demonstrate our latest technology. This newest technology is rechargeable, tiny, offering personal health monitoring and fall detection, and so much more. We're offering a $500 off coupon, so please make a reservation for this special.
This 3-day event is absolutely free, but reservations are recommended by calling the Audiology Center, 636-441-7470.
Best newscast in the country. The KMOX Newsroom, national winner of the Edward R. Murrow Award for Best Newscast in America.
You guys can't see the forest for the trees. Trump is an ass, and I'll vote for him 100 times over, especially over somebody like Biden who keeps the border open. Don't you think that's going to destroy this country? I do.
Is that a robot?
It sounds a little.
That was weird.
Was that?
I don't know.
That cadence was a little AI.
We are getting AI voicemails, apparently.
What if that is just a real AI who's going to vote?
That was to the
who's a huge fan of the show.
That was a message to the voicemail line, 314-944-1120, and you are welcome to. Yeah, but that's really not the question we asked. I mean, we're not really talking about Trump versus Biden. What we're talking about is in this debate tonight, when you've got a stage full of Republican candidates who all want to be president, or at least pretending to want to be president, what could you hear from them to change your mind, to take your support away from Trump and give it to them, one of them? Or do you think it would matter at all?
Right.
Can anything anybody says tonight possibly matter in this race that seems to be so lopsided?
Are there Trump votes out there that are Trump votes simply because they don't think anyone has a chance, and they're just, as long as we beat Biden? I don't know.
I'm sure there are a lot of people like that. Let's see what John in Overland thinks. John, you're with us on KMOX.
Oh, that was quick. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Here's what. Thank you. If I was a candidate, here's what I would do. I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent, but I would bring up the sex scandals again, which has been swept under the rug, it seems like, and the lying. Okay, three newspapers has declared that Trump has lied between 22,000 and 30,000 times with lies and false statements. I would start with that and see, does anybody think he at least lied half that many times, 10,000 times? That's horrendous. Next, I would go one by one. I won't list them to you. I'll get a big number here. One 13-year-old girl claims and went to almost to trial within 2 weeks of the trial about 8 years ago, claiming that Donald Trump raped her 4 times when she was 13, that Jeffrey Epstein was there on the 5th rape. They were both, it went to court, there was enough evidence, they were charged, or at least in court, charged with that. She got multiple death threats and backed out of it, and her car was stolen and her cell phone was stolen. 25 other women have accused him of rape, his first wife, for one thing, and sexual assault, and then, of course, he was found liable for this abuse, sexual abuse.
Well, John, here's what I would
which
say.
was a rape, which the judge said actually was a rape, according to the judge he went to clarify it.
Yeah,
the
and
judge
I
said
know
no.
what you're getting at, and we appreciate the phone call, but here, I'll give you the answer. The answer is his people who support him will say those are all lies. All of those women were out to get something.
Or
he's being targeted. Everybody's out to get him. That's what they will say.
Or what about? Well, what about
Biden lies too.
What about
Biden
Clinton?
lies.
What about this?
They all lie. It's all what about. And I think it's fair to assess the lies of all of the candidates. That includes Joe Biden. That includes anybody who's going to be on the stage tonight in California. We should do that. But I think you also have to take into account the volume and the seriousness of the lies.
Yeah.
But I don't think most people are doing that. I think that no matter what comes out about the former president, it's just not real.
Well,
They're out to get him, and they've been out to get him since he was elected.
And that's when people say Biden lies. Well, he does. And that's why Biden has so many unnecessary lies. Like, you should always tell the truth. But Biden's lies don't even get him anywhere. When he gives a 9/11 speech and he says he was there the next day when really he was there 9 or 10 days later, that's so unnecessary. It doesn't make anyone like you better. All it does is give fodder for people to compare you to Trump and say, look, you both lie. And it's such an unnecessary, trivial lie. I don't understand why Biden does that. And again, it just gives psychological permission for the whataboutism of the deepest defenders of Trump.
Here's a texter who says, if Nikki Haley and one other Republican candidate would say they're joining together as a team to run as president and vice president, I would vote for them. That's Amy Marks Cores. I'm Chris Ranji. This is KMOX.
Sometimes life's a kick. I ran my mouth off a bit too much. What did I say?
It's football season at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, featuring the best pool in history. Stadium Square, 3 levels, 6 pools, and a 143-foot diagonal screen. Stadium Swim is America's favorite place to watch football.
Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Stadium Swim, located at Circa Resort and Casino. Book today at CircaLasVegas.com. That's CircaLasVegas.com.
It is 10:28. The time check brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Make the Goodwill choice. Donate to Goodwill and help put people to work right here in St. Louis. And help yourself to a Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwich. Clean out those closets and cabinets. Take your donations to Goodwill during the month of September, and you'll get a coupon for an original Lion's Choice roast beef sandwich, courtesy of Lion's Choice. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill. It's the right choice for Lion's Choice. Hurry, supplies are limited. Get details at mersgoodwill.org.
This is Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. YourEyeDoc.com, 314-966-5000.
Change happens fast, and when it does, your small business needs to be ready. With Capitus as a trusted financing partner, you can be ready for anything that comes your way, be it a sudden bump in customer demand, the need for quick cash to fund unexpected opportunities, or keeping the lights on when there's a sudden downturn in the economy. A simple 5-minute online application with Capitus could put the funds you need in your hands in as little as 24 hours. Go to Capitus.com to explore your financing options. That's KAPITUS.com.
At 10:29, sun 71 degrees downtown at the Arch. According to two U.S. officials, the American soldier who sprinted into North Korea across the heavily fortified border between the two Koreas months ago has been released into U.S. custody. Earlier today, North Korea said it would expel Private Travis King. Metrolink is testing single-car trains starting Monday. Weekday service typically operates with 2-car trains. Metro Transit says they're making the change during the less busy fall months to test flexibility and how they can most efficiently provide train service. One benefit from dropping a car, wear and tear on trains is cut in half.
I'm Tom Ackerman. Cardinal baseball tonight. It's a 6:40 first pitch. John Rooney and Matt Pauley will bring it to you from Milwaukee as the Cardinals take on the Brewers. Brewers clinched last night. Cardinals got them 4-1, but with the Cubs losing 7-6 to the Braves, that wrapped up the NL Central for Milwaukee. The rest of the National League is still up in the air. The Cubs have the third wild card spot, but they're only a half game in front of the Marlins. Cardinals will throw Zach Thompson tonight. Miles Michaelis picked up the win last night. This report sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Swim next summer, alohapoolsusa.com.
We've got a stalled vehicle 370 west at 94. The right lane is closed. Some slow-moving road work on 6440. Going west at Mason, the right lane there is closed. Sunny and warm for the rest of today with a high of 82. For tonight, clear, moonlit, low 63. Sunny and warm tomorrow with the high of 83. Sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. We've got sun and 71 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and this is my show. What, you expecting something different? Whether you're looking for deep, insightful dives into the day's top sports stories, that's why we have guests, right, Nigel? Or simply how to get change for 100. You'll find it on the Tony Kornheiser Show. From football picks from the best prognosticators in the business, including a monkey, to real-time baseball playoff analysis, to traffic in an area where you don't live. We got you covered. My friends come on, and you know them. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
When choosing a skilled nursing memory care community, considered by U.S. News and World Reports as a best memory care community, choose Park Provence, where expert care is not cost prohibitive because they understand the challenges of today. For nearly 20 years, Park Provence has been the experts at treating dementia and Alzheimer's disease. If you're faced with making a difficult decision for your loved one, call today at 314-542-2500 or visit parkprovence.com. That's PARC Provence.com.
Nobody brings you more value in fine jewelry than Diamonds Direct, and they're proving it again by rolling back interest rates to 0%. But you need to hurry. Now through Sunday only, you can make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0%. A $6,000 ring is just $100 a month. But hurry, this radical offer ends Sunday at 5 p.m. Don't miss this once-a-year blockbuster deal. Hurry, 5 years, zero interest financing. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Approved credit.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. Our goal to bring awareness to local organizations and share how they're bettering our community. Dream Builders for Equity is doing exactly that with a unique approach that touches youth, residents, businesses, and real estate to transform neighborhoods in North St. Louis City. Listen to Building Community with Busey Bank at KMOX.com/community banking.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sunday mornings at 10:15 on Sports on a Sunday morning, and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show on Cardinals Radio, KMOX.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. We still want to hear from you about the debate tonight, so continue to leave us your voicemails at 314-944-1120 and text messages at 314-436-7900. As you know, anybody who's been paying attention to the news for the last couple of weeks, just absolute devastation in Libya with just an incredible amount of flooding and death that has resulted because of it. And we are now going to the Quiver River Electric guest line this morning. Claudia Gazzini, senior analyst for Libya at the International Crisis Group, is with us this morning on KMOX. Claudia, we appreciate your time. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me on the show.
So what is, at this moment, I know that they have been talking about death tolls near 20,000. Let's start there. Where are we in terms of that amount of destruction?
It's very difficult to have exact figures of the death toll. What we can say is that the confirmed deaths, meaning people whose bodies have been extracted from the rubble or from the sea, amounts to about 4,000. But there are, of course, many more missing, buried in the debris or lost at sea. And this is why we talk also about an estimate of the total amount of deaths of 20,000.
And a natural disaster like this is always incredibly tragic, but it's even more so when at least some of the deaths would have been preventable had those in charge done their job. Can you explain what we're looking at with the dams and why those critical infrastructure repairs were never done?
Well, it's a long story. So I was in Derna, in the Derna area just last week, and I'm one of the few people who actually went to visit the big collapsed dam. So I inspected the site. I talked to people who were there. And the story is a bit complicated because, yes, to a certain extent, it has to do with lack of maintenance and lack of investment in the infrastructure and the general chaos that Libya has been in for the past decade or so. But we should not forget that it was an unusual downpour that night between the 10th and the 11th of September, which hit eastern Libya. Imagine in just 5 hours, we saw the equivalent of 1 year's worth of rain come down. And where the dam is located, you can see it's a huge valley. It's 200 meters deep. It's very wide, and it extends for about 100 kilometers before reaching the dam. So you can imagine, and its catchment area is, I'm told, about 600 square kilometers. So you can imagine all that rain coming down, channeling in this valley, and filling up the area of the dam in solely 4 hours. I have to remind you that the dam was not used to retain water for the past 20 years. It was already, let's say, a dry dam. It's a dry valley because it had structural problems. And so what happened is that this excess amount of water overflowed, created sort of a hole on the other side. This weakened the structure and the dam collapsed. But rightfully, Libyans point to the fact that, well, everybody knew that these dams were weak, that needed upkeep, and that didn't happen. But it's true. We know of a Turkish firm that was employed in 2008. A contract was for the upkeep, and they started the work. But then, Libya fell into 10 years of turmoil. First, the NATO-led intervention, which caused the workers on the dam to evacuate. Their equipment, they say, was stolen in the aftermath of that war, and it took 4 years of litigation to get compensation. Then let's not forget, Derna was under the rule of ISIS between 2014 and 2016. It only just started towards 2019 to come out of these years of civil war and fight against jihadists. And so it would have been anyway difficult for the Turkish firm to come back and carry out repairs. So I'm saying all of this to say it's not a clear-cut story. Yes, lack of maintenance, political chaos, feuds, splits in the country, war played a role, but also it was just a major storm that brought down a lot of rain. In fact, authorities of the Ministry of Water that I talked to claim, and this is their official line, that even a newly built dam with those same specifications would have not withheld the wall of water that came down.
Claudia Gazzini with the International Crisis Group is visiting with us on KMOX. So there's 16 officials, the Libyan officials, who have all been detained because they're being investigated. Are they just being scapegoated here, basically?
Well, see, it's a hard question. Some of them are being scapegoated, of course. For example, the mayor. I talked to him before he was detained. Actually, an arrest warrant was issued for these 16 people. We don't know which one of them, whether all or just some, were actually detained. So take the mayor, for example. He claims that the municipality has no competence over dams. And that's true. Dams are strategic sites that refer to the Ministry of Planning, the Ministry of Water. It's not the city hall of a town of 100,000 people that is the authority in charge of maintenance of dams. And so there is a lot of political, let's say there's an attempt by various authorities to lay the blame for what happened on their political rival. And a lot of political opportunism in using this crisis to settle scores with their rivals. Likewise, in that list of 16 that you mentioned, there are some of these managers in charge of the dams whom I had talked to earlier last week. And, they acknowledged all the problems, the lack of maintenance, presented what to me seems a realistic reconstruction of facts, which is that the war and instability specifically has been over the past 10 years contributed to the lack of maintenance rather than one individual or rather than the embezzlement of funds.
When I think of those who managed to survive the flood and being on the ground in Derna now, three things come to mind: availability of clean water, shelter, and the threat of disease. Where are we with those three things now for those that remain in Derna?
Okay, regards to clean water, I mean, it is an issue because it does appear that the tap water inside Derna has been somewhat contaminated. They're trying to work out a way to get clean water by bringing in filters. They can't, somebody who's in charge of a UN agency that brings in water tells me that, they can't possibly bring in bottled water for everybody. So they're trying to set up a new mechanism so that they can filter water in Derna. So that is not fully resolved, but it's hopefully being resolved. Shelter, Libyans have shown a great solidarity. I received messages from far away municipalities saying, hey, we can host 5 families or we can host 10 families and so on. So many people from Derna who have lost their homes and have survived managed to find residences elsewhere. But also the organization called the Red Crescent has set up shelters in the town's schools, because remember, not all of Derna collapsed. It's just the central area. The peripheral area, it's business as usual. It's rather schizophrenic, this fact that one area is flash and then the next things are operating. So the Red Crescent has done an excellent job in housing people, and there's also a local solidarity. So we're not talking about refugee camps with tents and families living in tents. That's not happening. Sanitation, there was some concern of, people drinking unclean water and having medical problems, but it doesn't seem that the issue is too severe, at least from what I hear from doctors on the ground.
Claudia Gazzini, we really do appreciate your time and the information and all the work you're doing there. Thank you for giving us your time today.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
You too. Claudia Gazzini, senior analyst for Libya, the International Crisis Group, and the Libyan Red Crescent. I think the best way to find them probably is to go to redcross.org, and you can get in touch. You can donate that way. Also, the International Committee of the Red Cross, they are accepting donations as well. The ICRC, it is ICRC.org. Because it is a bad situation there, and it has not gotten the attention that it should have. I mean, we reported on it here, but it just hasn't gotten the attention in this country that it really needed.
Well, 2 massive natural disasters happening
like back to
back with the earthquake near Marrakesh in Morocco, and now the flooding in Libya, and again in places that don't have the resources that we would have in St. Louis, or the infrastructure that could withstand some of the storms or the earthquake and the aftershocks. It's just devastating.
I would recommend visiting ICRC.org or redcross.org and find ways to contribute to Libya, because I know that there are people who want to. 314-436-7900. We want to hear from you, of course, on the primary debates that will happen tonight. It's going to be fun. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Michael's Baths, family owned and operated. Mike and his daughter run the company, so you can feel rest assured that you're going to have the very best products, the very best service, the very best prices, and a personalized experience because it's not this huge operation. Mike likes to keep things small. They have 6 employees. There's not a lot of overhead, and they work directly with manufacturers. The perk of that is that Michael's Baths, the estimate that you'll get for your project through Michael's Baths is 30 to 50% less than their competitors. So if you've been thinking, okay, it's time to make a phone call, my shower is getting too hard to clean, I need a shower to tub conversion, I need a walk-in shower, a walk-in tub, and I need safety features like grab bars, a seat, a handheld shower, or a true non-slip base, Michael's Baths is the place you need to call. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Carol Daniel for Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Our friend called me to ask for help last month. He said a trash truck backed into their fence and gate at their church. And of course, I recommended Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Now, maybe you don't have a church or a business, but you do have a backyard, my friends. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the company to call to rehab your deck or repair your fence or build you a brand new pergola. From a free in-home estimate to excellent customer service, you'll love the experience from start to finish. We did when they built our bronze aluminum fence so many years ago, still framing our backyard beautifully. 636-532-4054. That's the number to call to set up time with a consultant to come to your home and create a free in-home estimate and free project design. And when you call in September, mention my name, Carol Daniel, and you get 20% off your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, a legacy of excellent service and the sign you have the very best.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. This was only a test. The Pinch Athletic Club and Tavern at St. Louis Union Station may be the perfect place before, during, and after a city match. And September 30th, come on down and listen to the Extra Time Show live, featuring coaches, players, and more after the City Sporting KC match. Join us in person and be part of the conversation and enjoy what's on tap at the pitch while you listen to the show. Visit Odyssey.com/KMOX for more information. Presented by Bank of Springfield and Gray Bar.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
We've been using Roundup to kill weeds around our homes and gardens for decades.
Farmers even use it on their fields and on the foods we eat.
But now we learn that Roundup can cause cancer.
The World Health Organization has found evidence linking the glyphosate in Roundup to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, multiple myeloma, leukemia, and other cancers.
In fact, the medical literature suggests that even minimal exposures to Roundup can increase the risk of cancer.
That's why health officials from around the world have either outlawed, banned, or called for banning glyphosate.
Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Belgium,
France, Germany, Italy, even the Netherlands. In fact, the state of New York brought fraud charges against Monsanto for claiming that Roundup was safe for humans.
So Monsanto stopped saying it, but only in New York.
Folks, if you've developed cancer after any exposure to Roundup, call Onder Law.
They're the firm that tells us the truth about the companies that can hurt us.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
That's 1-800-RX-WATCH or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Too many businesses sell for far less than they should. Clayton Capital Partners is one of the nation's top independent investment banking firms for the middle market, representing clients nationwide in multiple industries. Our process is designed to uncover and make the most of your company's competitive advantage. Create a sales strategy that highlights your company's value to potential buyers and identify outrageous buyers who will pay a premium for your business. All owners will exit their business. Make sure it is on your terms. ClaytonCapitalPartners.com.
Did you know that now is the best time to top dress your lawn? St. Louis Composting has compost specifically created for top dressing. To learn more, visit stlcompost.com. That's stlcompost.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Use your vehicle less in September. Walk or bike to close destinations and enjoy more time outdoors. When we each share a one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
With so many bottles to choose from, there's always something new to try at Total Wine & More. How about a great Prosecco for under $8 and a French Rosé for under $7? With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love and love what you find only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
We're back! Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors on KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? No way.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that. Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy on the show?
Hey, Ron, did you see George Santos? He was asked about the Senator Bob Menendez corruption bribery scandal.
Can I guess what he says?
Sure.
I bet $100 he says that he deserves a day in court or something like that.
Let's see.
Let's see. Hello.
I'm giving his opinion.
I don't have an opinion on that.
Why not?
Because I think due process is important, and I think he has the right to defend himself. He's innocent until proven guilty. The media has to stop acting like everybody is guilty before they're even judged by a jury. So no, I think everybody is innocent until proven guilty. When did we walk away from the fabric of our Constitution that everybody has a presumption of innocence before anything else? So I don't think he should resign. Okay. No, thank you.
Where do I collect my $100?
I think Steve has it.
Steve?
In one of his boats.
In one of the boats.
Okay, a couple things. One, yes, everyone deserves due process, even murderers, mass murderers. Yep, we give them due process. There you go. They're not asking Bob Menendez
to go to jail,
walk himself into jail.
Right.
They're asking him to resign. And I know he's innocent until proven guilty, but we can still have an opinion. And when they find the fingerprints of Saudi officials on the gold bars and the wads of cash that were stuffed into your coat pockets.
Which, by the way, I didn't know they tested for DNA on those things.
They did.
I did not. I was not aware of that at all.
They tested for DNA and found like Saudi officials and the DNA. I think Gold Bar Bob, you might want to step back for the good of your constituents.
Listen, this is an argument that sounds to me, it's very similar to when people misuse First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
It's my First Amendment right. It's my first. Well, no, you have the First Amendment right not to be arrested for saying something, right? Depending on what you say. I mean, you can't incite violence or anything like that. But people misunderstand that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're misunderstanding this also, because this is not a company or an organization can say, hey, you may not be guilty, but we can't have it. We can't have whatever you're accused of. You're indicted with evidence that's being presented to a grand jury. Sorry, man, can't have it. We need you to step down. That's different than whether or not he goes to jail. Yeah, he deserves it. You're right. He deserves a day in court. And maybe he'll be found innocent, but we cannot have senators in the United States accused and indicted twice in less than 8 years?
And there
Can't have it.
are a
Sorry.
lot of texts and a lot of fingerprints. It's not looking good for Gold Bar Bob.
It's like somebody just threw it out there and said, I think you took money from an unnamed source. Like, no, this is real evidence. He's got to go away. And you are getting more and more members of the Democratic Party, prominent people who have said he needs to resign. And that's how it should be handled by the party when your guy's indicted multiple times.
Whether you're talking about the leaders of the Senate or Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, AOC, who is
John
no
Fetterman.
conservative. Yeah, John Fetterman, which...
Chris Murphy, Governor Murphy in New Jersey. It's pretty much everybody. Did you ever watch the show Community?
No.
You didn't watch Community.
I didn't.
That seems to be the
I've
kind of
seen
show you would like.
Parks and Rec, like The Office,
Yeah, they're
Parks
all
and
about the
Rec.
same.
Aren't they kind of that?
Well,
Is it like 30 Rock?
Yeah, kind of like that sort of thing. Chevy Chase.
I have a hot take. I just have to say this. I love old comedy. I love Saturday Night Live, all the classic. I have never laughed at Chevy Chase.
Well,
He's
here's
not
what's funny.
to me.
Well, here's what's funny, because he didn't think Community was funny either.
What?
He was on the show, and he said this recently in an interview, quote, I honestly felt the show wasn't funny enough for me, ultimately. I felt a little bit constrained. I didn't mind the character. I just felt that it was I felt happier being alone. I just didn't want to be surrounded by that table every day with those people. It was too much. Now, here's what you may not know about Chevy Chase.
No.
He is widely regarded by his peers to be an absolute butthole. Nobody likes Chevy Chase. People who worked with him on SNL don't really like him. I mean, maybe some do, but after the fact,
How interesting.
stories we've heard about Chevy over the last few years that he's just not good to work with.
I didn't know for a long time if it was Chevy Chase or Chevy Chase. I would never know. It's like I just would go back and forth, like a vase of Oz.
Yeah,
Do you say vase or vase?
just vase. I don't really ever say it because I don't talk about vases. Hey, did you see the? You know how I love betting odds for the election?
Yeah.
Finally, Donald Trump is now leading. He's now the favorite to
I thought
win
he
the
had
general.
been.
No, it had been Joe Biden this whole time. It's close though.
Wow.
Gavin Newsom is third though. He's got the third best odds. Ron DeSantis is all the way down at 7.
Okay, but Gavin Newsom, wouldn't something have to happen to Biden for him to?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So here's who has better betting odds than Ron DeSantis. Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Michelle Obama, Gavin Newsom, Biden, and Trump.
Wow.
Poor Ron. It has not gone well for him. Hour 2. Next.
It looks like wood, it feels like wood, but it's maintenance free. It's luxurious James Hardie siding. And during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary event, you get same as cash financing on Hardie products and Pella windows. Let Banner Construction transform your home into the envy of the neighborhood. Call now and have Banner's design team give you some great options and a free quote. 314-569-1050. Online, bannerconstruction.com. That's 569-1050. And have a banner day.
An important message from SNL Coins. SNL Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to SNL at 544-3600. SNL Coins, 544-3600. Or visit SNL Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call SNL 544-3600.
Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Well, good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act is now with Truehold. Truehold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. Truehold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash to do whatever you like, while Truehold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Fairwinds River's Edge is an award-winning independent living community located in the heart of St. Charles. Voted Best Independent Living by U.S. News & World Report. Fairwinds River's Edge provides life-enhancing independent living services you need to support your best self. We believe that joy isn't just for the young, it's for the young at heart. With services and amenities handling life's necessities, you can dance and enjoy live entertainment at happy hour. Play a competitive game of beanbag baseball with your neighbors, participate in an aqua fitness class in a warm water pool, or go out to Crown Candy for lunch. Say goodbye to home maintenance, cooking, and cleaning, and hello to the fun. In our active community for adults 55 plus, you'll cultivate connections and make meaningful memories in a community that feels like home. Join the fun at Fairwinds River's Edge on Friday, October 27th at our Beer Fest and Costume Happy Hour Party. Call 636-754-2317 to RSVP.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, we've got sun and 72 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. North Korea has expelled a U.S. soldier it detained after he crossed into the country 2 months ago. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick reports.
Private Travis King bolted across the border in July when he was supposed to be flying back to the U.S. from South Korea to face disciplinary charges. He was said to have wanted refuge in North Korea because of maltreatment and racial discrimination in the U.S. Army. He has now been taken into custody in China. He's said to be in good health and good spirits.
As you heard yesterday, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has sued the Wentzville School Board. He says it violated the state's open meetings law by discussing transgender bathroom policy behind closed doors and not in a public forum. KMOX legal analyst Brad Young.
And I suspect that the school board will take the defense that they were discussing physical health proceedings related to a specific individual. That would be a defense under the law, but we'll have to see how that shakes out.
Target says it's being targeted by organized retail criminals, and as a result, it will have to shutter 9 stores nationwide. Matt Bigler has reaction from customers in one area.
Target is closing 3 Bay Area stores, including in San Francisco, and the only location in Oakland.
That's awful.
I mean, we depend on this Target. Kane Oldham says not enough is being done to stop out-of-control stealing.
I saw 4 or 5 kids running out with candy and chips, and when one of the security guards was about to pursue, management told him to let them go.
Target says it has tried to prevent retail theft by locking up merchandise and hiring security guards, but it's just not enough. The company is also closing stores in New York City, Portland, and Seattle. Matt Bigler for CBS News, Oakland.
U.S. Senator Dick Durbin says, like President Biden, he took time out this week to support striking United Auto Workers. The Illinois Democrat visited a picket line in Bolingbrook.
What the UAW is saying, for goodness sakes, make sure the workers are part of the success story too. Don't let them read in the papers about how much money the company's making while they're breaking their backs to make the products that are successful.
NASA astronaut Frank Rubio and 2 Russians are back on Earth after being stuck in space for just over a year. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood says Rubio has set the record for the longest space flight by an American.
After a year in zero gravity, Frank Rubio says he expects it'll take a few months before he gets his land legs back. Even though space station crews spend about 2 hours each day exercising, the absence of gravity definitely takes its toll on the body's vestibular system, that is, its ability to balance, bone density, and muscle loss. Returning station crews have to be carried from their spacecraft and face weeks of physical therapy before they begin to feel normal. Learning more about how to combat the effects of weightlessness is a major research goal aboard the International Space Station.
The KMOX Business Desk, more problems with Hyundais.
Kia America and Hyundai America issuing recalls for a total of more than 3 million vehicles manufactured since 2010. Electrical shorts can cause engine compartment fires, and owners are being told to park outside and away from structures until those vehicles are repaired. Details on specific vehicles can be found at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's down 160 points to 33,458. We've got a 3-vehicle crash on 44 West at the Business Loop 100 in Gray's Summit. MoDOT says all lanes are closed on 44 West at Gray's Summit, so watch out there. Stalled vehicle 370 West at 94. The right lane is closed. Some slow-moving road work. 6440 going west at Mason. The right lane is closed.
KMOX AccuWeather turning out mostly sunny and warm this afternoon as we get up in the low 80s, moonlit and clear down to 63 tonight. Low to mid 80s with sunshine tomorrow. Then it gets hot for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Highs within a few degrees of 90, flirting with records each day. And that warm weather continues into next week. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Ian DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sun and 72 in Florissant and St. Peter's and 72 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Amy March Kors and Chris Ranji on KMOX this morning, hour 2 of the show. We're going to the Quiver River Electric guest line.
Oh,
again,
baby.
Amy.
We are. Because NASA got this sample from an asteroid, and I was reading about this remarkable feat completed by NASA. You heard the exclamations and the cheering when they were able to finally get this asteroid sample back. It's landed back on Earth, and I read that it traveled billions of miles.
Aliens?
No.
Okay.
The sample.
Okay. Okay.
And none of that makes sense to me because I was trying to figure out the time. You were counting seconds. And so we're bringing in someone who is known as the smartest man in the world, Dr. Ray Arvidson. He's the James S. McDonald Distinguished University Professor Emeritus at Washington University. And Dr. Arvidson, thank you for joining us and helping to explain exactly what NASA accomplished with this extraordinary asteroid sample.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Chris and Amy. Yeah, this was pretty cool on Sunday. I have to tell you, the whole boss of the mission, the principal investigator, is Dante Loretti. He's a professor at the University of Arizona, but he got his PhD from Washington University in our department. So we're
that's
completely
awesome.
Yeah.
Smart people.
Yeah. So what's this about? So Bene, which is the asteroid that was sampled by the mission called OSIRIS-REx, what they did is to put a little kind of probe into this asteroid. It's like 1,600 feet across, and then blew some nitrogen, and it blew up a bunch of rocks and dirt, or it's called regolith, and that's what was returned to the Earth in Utah on Sunday. The reason is that this asteroid is an Earth crosser, and within the next maybe 200 or 300 years, there's some small chance it will actually whack into the Earth. So this is both for science, looking at the earliest part of the solar system, because this thing is probably 4.5 billion years old. It's just a big pile of rubble. And it's also kind of planetary defense, trying to understand, these asteroids that cross the Earth, and there are a number of them. How dangerous are they? What are their paths in the future? What are they made out of? So it was both for science and for planetary defense. It's a rare chance for hitting the Earth, but it's happened in the past. It's what killed the dinosaurs 67 million years ago. So it's pretty neat.
So yeah, it is.
Not for the dinosaurs.
Yeah, the dinosaurs didn't like it at all. They didn't know what was coming. All right, so this thing launched in 2016.
Mm-hmm. The OSIRIS-REx.
The OSIRIS-REx launched in 2016. What's the total distance it traveled?
Oh, it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of miles. I don't have the top of my head. But this was an asteroid very close to Earth. In fact, its closest approach is closer than the moon gets to the Earth, although the Earth wasn't there when it did that close approach. So it was hundreds of millions of miles. And after the launch, they encountered Bennu, went into orbit around it, took a bunch of pictures and other data, figured out the right place to get the sample, kind of slowly approached it, put the sampling collector down, got the material, came back, and it was ejected from the main spacecraft, and then the capsule was successfully planted into the Utah flats on Sunday. That sample's about 0.5 pound of rocks and dust and sand-sized particles. It's now at the Johnson Space Center in what's called the extraterrestrial curatorial facility, where it's really safe and no way it can be contaminated by the Earth.
So what can we learn from something like this?
So it was surprising. This Bennu is just a pile of rubble, kind of really loose, and that sampling arm and the kind of the working end went about much more into the material, the surface, like 20 centimeters, which is what, 10, 12 inches or so. So it's really loosely held together, a lot of blocks kind of coming together. A lot about the orbit was learned, about the materials, and that will allow us to better predict in this planetary defense program, what the heck is going to happen when these Earth crossers, these asteroids, actually are dangerous. Can we move them out of the way? Do we have to blow them up, or exactly what? Plus, we're looking at the birth of the solar system 4.5 billion years ago, and this material has never been processed through planets. So it's the birthing stuff that we're all made out of.
When there are not the black holes, but the like a neutron star, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and all these precious metals like diamonds and all of these things, do any of those find their way onto the asteroid, or are those way too far out for the asteroid to pick up that type of debris?
Excellent question. You and Chris and I, we're made of stardust. There's a class of stars that blow up, and produce all the elements that we know of. They're called supernova events. Big stars collapse, get so heavy, so big, poof, and all that material is dispersed through the universe. It's collected into our solar system when the solar system made. So everything in your body came from previous stars.
Oh, I like that. I call Amy Stardust. That's my nickname for her.
Oh my gosh.
It's a pet name.
And I call him Golden.
Wow.
We are Stardust. We are Golden. That's
Doctor.
All of this is like blowing my mind. And Dr. Arvidsson, okay, I think I'm going to get in trouble from Chris Ranji for asking you this.
Oh God.
But I am like 20 years behind everyone else when it comes to pop culture. So I just watched Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey.
Don't ruin it for me.
When you watch a movie like that, does it irritate you because you say, no, that's not how the science works? Does it intrigue you because it's a cinematic illustration of the possibilities of different theories?
Well, I enjoy it totally, but I do tend to dissect the real science versus the kind of fantasy. But I take it as fantasy. I mean, my best science fiction movie was The Martian, because that's the author actually spent a lot of time talking to NASA engineers and scientists, got most of it right, not all of it, because it had to be kind of fun. I mean, Amy and Chris, you wouldn't launch on a rocket from Mars where the nose cone is covered by canvas, would you?
No.
Well, I'm probably not. But I don't know if you
drive my car down Highway 40 if it was covered with canvas.
But if you're a scientist and you say, hey, this is totally fine, and you know what you're talking about, I might trust you.
No, you trust me, you wouldn't.
Okay. All right.
Nor would you go to space and then be captured, by an orbiting spacecraft above the planet. So there are just things that Andy, when he wrote the book, had to make pretty exciting. But a lot of it rings true.
That's incredible.
So what was your ultimate opinion of the hearings that we had? I think it was back at the end of July, the UFO hearings, which they're not called UFOs any longer. What's your thought on all of it?
Yeah, I know some of the folks who were on the panel, and they did the best possible job, totally objective, to look through all the public data and come down with a list of very few candidates that they couldn't explain. So that doesn't mean that they're alien, right? I mean, that's taking the most exciting conclusion, which is not science. What you do is work on what are called multiple working hypotheses, and that's one of them, but it's not the one that you go with in terms of the press. My sense is that it would be incredibly unlikely for an alien culture to have visited us and left material behind. I think in the end, pretty much everything's going to be explained by natural events or military events or things like that. I'd love to know that they're aliens, but there's absolutely no concrete evidence. So we're in multiple working hypotheses, and that's just one of them.
There's there's that paradox, like it gets all the attention, the Fermi paradox, where Enrico Fermi in passing said, "Where is everybody?" And they took that as, well, since we haven't seen them, that means that they don't exist. Do you kind of go by that? Is that what your philosophy is?
No. I'm pretty open. I mean, what we found with NASA and European Space Agency spacecraft that search for planets around other stars, there are thousands and thousands of planets around other stars and other galaxies and with our own galaxy. And some of them are within called the Goldilocks zone, which is where you need to be in the distance from the star to have liquid water. So the instruments and the spacecraft are getting better and better. So I think the probability that life is out there elsewhere is pretty high. The problem, Chris, is they're light years apart from us. And that's tens to millions of light years apart. And light year is like the distance that light travels in a year. It's over 6 trillion miles. So the probability of someone getting here, or an alien group getting here, I think is pretty small. It's way beyond anything we can think of in terms of how to travel that fast. So, maybe it will happen in the future, but I don't think there's any concrete evidence that aliens have been with us. It's really multiple working hypotheses at this point.
It's crazy, just the vastness of space. I'm even thinking, I mean, and this is a scale that's even so much smaller, but it's like if we've channeled all of our money and our energies to get to Chesterfield, and we have no chance of getting to China. Well, I mean, we've spent this long trying to get to Chesterfield, and there's so much more out there, and you multiply that by orders of magnitude, and that's space.
That's right. Many orders of magnitude, Amy. Many, many, many.
Yeah.
So that alien body that was found in Mexico, what is that?
That's baloney.
Okay.
It's a little too on the nose, isn't it, Dr. Arvidsson? It looks
like-
like Yoda.
It's like a foot
I mean,
tall.
it's made, but the whole idea that it's alien is baloney. There are a couple of them, and I've known people who have seen them, and it's just something that would be really cool if true, but it's just a bunch of baloney.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we needed your expertise on this because I looked at the thing.
Made of baloney, understand? Just it's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at the thing and I thought that, come on.
Yeah, like, I
and they
don't
held
know-
a whole press conference and they put it in this little coffin.
Yeah.
Like, look what we found. It
Yeah.
looks like
you could win it at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, it's a little too on the nose for an alien.
all right. Well, Dr. Arvidsson, we
Thank you.
appreciate the
Yes.
information and the expertise and calling us idiots. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Chris and Amy, it's always fun to be with you guys.
We appreciate it.
Dr. Ray Arvidsson, James McDonald Distinguished University Professor Emeritus at WashU. He is brilliant.
fun.
So that I'm looking at a photo of that quote unquote alien body. It's just so ridiculous.
I know.
They held a whole press conference with people with suits and ties, and they were in this. Look what we found. This is real.
It's
Like,
just-
oh, I bet it is.
I bet it is. It's so on the nose.
dumb.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
boy. That's Amy. I'm Chris. Hey, I have one question for you, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
What about me?
It's always about you.
It's KMOX.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 1120 a.m. further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, so why don't we do something about it? With Neovitin Men's 50 Plus, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Formulated for men over 50, Neovitin Men's 50 Plus gives you B vitamins to support energy and our proprietary physician-formulated blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Do something about your health today with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus. Available at your local Schnucks and Deerbergs.
Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 with the Living Lucky with Luke Combs lottery experience. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium. One lucky winner will win $500,000 at the end of the show. Y'all feeling lucky? Enter today.
Enter your Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratchers tickets at molottery.com for a chance to win a private concert experience and a chance at $500,000. Play it forward with the Missouri Lottery and play responsibly.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
STL Today is named Under Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. We'll continue to make a difference, one case at a time.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
This is Carson Daly, and on behalf of Dr. Alfie, Katie Neal, and all of our guests, I want to say a special thank you to all of you for joining us for I'm Listening, Odyssey's mental health initiative. Our goal is to open minds and hearts to more mental health conversations because talk saves lives. If you missed the special or want to hear it again, you can find it at imlistening.org and on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. For more resources on your mental health journey, please visit imlistening.org.
Sponsored by Compass Health Network. Inspire hope. Promote wellness.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children that they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that. Under 2 minutes, something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
KMOX, the 2023 Large Market Radio Station of the Year, recognized by the Missouri Broadcasters Association. KMOX, we were built for this.
One thing I have noticed over the last, how long we've been doing the show together? About a year and a half?
10 years?
Feels like 10. We started right after Memorial Day.
You and I, it was like the first week of December after we, got rid of Kevin.
Oh, yeah, we dumped the dead weight. That's right.
So it really was a new show once we dumped the dead weight.
We lost the loudmouth. We got rid of Kevin. So it was, I love Kevin. It was May 2022 we started. But here's the thing that I have noticed, that everything we talk about, all you ever say is, well, what about me?
Oh my gosh.
What about me?
You know what? That's so mean. No, you say that because you're always like, how does that affect me? Which is why if you get fired, you want everyone else to get fired. And when you die, you want everyone else to die at the same time.
Yeah, we talked about this before, that my hope is that if I lose my job, that like a lot of other people lose their jobs at once so that I'm not alone.
And if he dies, he wants everyone else to die too, so he doesn't miss anything.
I want my death to be when that asteroid that Dr. Arvidsson was talking about actually hits us, because then I'll go, well, I won't feel so bad about this. Because in a case like that, you don't have fear of missing out. Some people call it FOMO. If I'm dying and I'm looking at everybody, but they're going to get to continue on, I will have huge FOMO.
Yeah. And if you were dying and then I planned a party, I'd be like, do you want to come to my party? And you'd be like, I don't know. I don't know if I can make it. Literally. Get it?
Yeah, I get
anyway, this was an Instagram account. It brought up a thing called the What About Me effect. So the girl, Sarah, I guess, who was on TikTok, Sarah described this phenomenon as a combination of individualistic culture and being chronically online. So basically, people start seeing whatever it is on their TikTok feed. And if there's anything that doesn't really relate to them, they try to make it relate to them. Here's an example. A girl on TikTok made a video on how to make bean soup. It's bean soup. The main ingredient is beans. After she posted the video, and this is according to this story on Instagram, she was bombarded with comments like, well, what if I don't like beans? Beans aren't good for my stomach, or what could I substitute the beans for? So the original creator, as the story goes on, had patience and tried to help them. But the thing is, it's not about like you're asking for substitute for bean soup recipe. It's like, how can you see something like bean soup and immediately try to make it for you, or look at it and go, well, this isn't relevant to me. I can't have beans. Another person put a travel video of a waterfall in New Zealand, and there was a commenter going, well, what if I don't live in New Zealand? Well, this post isn't for you. Yes. And they said, not only have we this individualistic culture, people are more focused on themselves than ever. I think social media has driven this idea of self-importance because everyone thinks they're funny. Everyone thinks they should go on a rant online. But the algorithms are so tailored to us now that if we do happen across something that doesn't relate completely to us, well, wait a minute. What about me? Why am I seeing this? And on this post, it's called Blank You Should Care About. They said the next time you feel personally attacked by something that comes across your feed because you don't feel like it was made directly for you, that's because it wasn't, and that's okay.
It's such a funny thing because obviously that kind of selfishness or that sort of
self-absorption.
That's not new. That's not a new concept. I think it's always existed. It's manifesting differently now, and we have more avenues to exhibit our selfishness by saying things like this. And I've always thought that to be really funny. When it's a recipe and you're looking at the recipe and the comments are, well, I don't like broccoli. Well, okay, then this isn't a thing that you eat then.
Yeah.
You clearly change the channel, scroll down, keep going, and find something else that you will like.
Well, and I think some of the bigger examples that we've all seen before, even before the advent of social media, is, well, what about those of us who don't celebrate this or that holiday? Well, what about those of us who don't have the time to go on this weekend trip or week trip? Okay, well, let's try to accommodate. Now it's gotten to the point where if you post a bean soup recipe, people are saying, well, wait a minute, I can't eat beans. What if I don't have beans? What if I don't like beans? Then move on.
I don't think people are more narcissistic than they used to be. It's just now you're able to tell.
You're able to indulge it.
That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. We'll give you the birds with John Rooney next on KMOX.
Following the Dave Glover Show at 5 o'clock, it's Total Information PM. Hey, I'm Michael Calhoun. Check in with Kevin Wheeler and me for the latest news and information. Roger covers your commute. Dave Murray's got the forecast. Matt Pauley has sports. We'll take deep dives on local issues and help you be a smarter consumer. At 5:30, the CBS Evening News helps you understand what's happening around the country and the world. Total Information PM at 5 o'clock, right after Dave Glover on the trusted voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Roger, tell us about your experience working with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
We just had a very fine experience with the work that 3-Day Kitchen and Bath had done on our home. They had taken out walls and put in a new kitchen and a new bath, and did it in an extremely timely manner with some of the finest workers that we've been associated with. Easy to work with. They did what we asked them to do. And each of the subs that they had, whether it was putting in the bath, the shower stalls, and they came in a timely manner. The plumber was here on time. The electricians were here when they said they would be here, and things just worked out really well for us. And I've done it myself, and it'll probably take me 2 years.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty, reminding you why pay more than 4. In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many markets' ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444, 314-441-all-4s. And remember, why pay more than 4?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Make the Goodwill choice. Donate to Goodwill and help put people to work right here in St. Louis. And help yourself to a Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwich. Clean out those closets and cabinets. Take your donations to Goodwill during the month of September, and you'll get a coupon for an original Lion's Choice roast beef sandwich, courtesy of Lion's Choice. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill. It's the right choice for Lion's Choice. Hurry, supplies are limited. Get details at mersgoodwill.org.
At 11:30, some sun, 74 downtown at the Arch. Republicans are meeting for their second presidential debate as top rivals seek to blunt the momentum of Donald Trump. Rather than attend, Trump will be in Detroit delivering a primetime speech that will compete for airtime with the debate and take place before a crowd of current and former union members. While visiting Bowling Green, Kentucky yesterday, Senator Rand Paul remarked on a potential government shutdown.
We need to do a better job. It's just not good planning. We didn't pass a budget this year, and now we haven't passed an appropriations bill. So what they tend to do is put it all together. So what I've said is I'm fine with giving an extension to let the government pass the appropriations bill, but I'm not fine with funding another government.
TV's late night hosts plan to return to their evening sketches and monologues by next week, reinstating the flow of topical humor silenced for 5 months by the newly ended Hollywood writers' strike. Stalled vehicle 55 south to 270 north. The right lane is closed. Also still watching that three-vehicle crash that has had 44 west at the Business Loop, 100 Grays Summit closed. Also a stall on 370 west at 94. The right lane closed. And for this afternoon, a high of 82. Sunny sky, clear and moonlit tonight, low 63. For tomorrow, sunny and a high of 83. At the moment, sunny and 74 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Ashley Furniture.
Fall is almost here, and at Ashley, seasonal decorating is a breeze. Snuggle up on a sectional or ultra-modern sofa. Gather outside with a new fire pit or conversation set. Ashley has everything you'll need. Shop in-store or visit ashley.com today.
You know, the weather is changing. I mean, this week it's going to be hot. Come on, fall, let's go. But it's going to get colder. It's going to be brighter out there. It's going to be rainy sometimes too, and it will mess around with your eyesight. So this is such a great time to pay a visit to Ophthalmology Associates. They are the doctors because doctors all over the area go to see them. And we know that if you have insurance, if you have health insurance, a lot of times it will take care of that visit. If you go and have your annual eye exam, you know, if you're getting constant headaches, it's probably time to get your vision checked as well. You might think it's a bunch of other things. It could end up being your vision, which is really important that you get that checked out. So at Ophthalmology Associates, you give them a call. Any of the terrific doctors there, like Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and they're welcoming Samuel Berry to the mix as well. Make your appointment, 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
For a limited time, First Community is offering a rate of 5% annual percentage yield on a 12-month or an 18-month certificate of deposit. Take your pick. You can open a CD with as little as $500, and there is no limit. Unlike some high-risk investments, CDs are fully insured to keep your savings safe, and the return on your investment is guaranteed. Requires a $500 minimum deposit to open. Call 1-800-767-8880 for terms and conditions. Federally insured up to $250,000 by NCUA.
Broadcasting from the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sunday mornings at 10:15 on Sports on a Sunday morning, and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show on Cardinals Radio, KMOX. Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
The pitch to Edman, a swing, and there's a drive deep, right center field, way back to the wall. It's a gunner. Tommy Edman goes into his home run trot. Edman with his 13th home run of the year, hitting as many as he did last year. A 2-run inning for the Cardinals, 4-1 Redbirds.
The 2023 Cardinals trying to end the season with some positives. A win against the Milwaukee Brewers, who still clinched the division last night. That happened. We are getting close to the end of the season, final week of the year, and it is time to go to the Quiver River Electric guest line. John Rooney, radio voice of the Cardinals, will be with us tonight. Again, ball game is happening again tonight, Brewers and the Cardinals. Pregame at 5:45. We got the first pitch at 6:40. John Rooney, what's happening?
Well, I'm sitting here in the lobby of the Pfister Hotel listening to a little classical music and talking on the show right now. It's a great day in America.
Is that the one that's haunted?
I'm not on the haunted side.
Okay.
No, I'm not on the haunted side. It's the old side. I'm over here on the column side of the hotel, so I'm safe.
Have you ever had an experience at the Pfister? You've done a lot of traveling.
Oh yes. There've been a few interesting things happening, but I told them, look, I'm only here 2 or 3 days. I'll be out of here, so no big deal.
You got to tell us an interesting thing. What happened?
Yeah.
Give us a ghost story, John.
Oh, just noises, things like that that you can hear. Nothing like the TV coming on in the middle of the night and saying "get out" or anything like that. Nothing that scary at all. I mean, Brendan Ryan said that he had an experience where something with the television kept going on and off, and I guess the ghosts were having a little fun with him, but that's okay. I just tell him I'm not here long. I'll be out of here.
That's what you walk in the room and go, look, I'm not going to be here long.
Yeah.
Don't bother me. I won't bother you.
And then they leave me alone, so it works out.
This is an experienced traveler here.
I know.
I mean, John just rolls with the punches like, listen, buddies, I'm in, I'm out. Don't worry about it. Very nice.
That's it. It's a long season.
Yeah.
Or are there any other haunted? I feel like there's one in St. Petersburg. Isn't there a haunted hotel there too?
The Vinoy, and we stayed at the Vinoy when we were down there, but that's been renovated so many times. I think the ghosts may have gone on out to a hotel by the beach. It's a lot more fun there.
I'm sure it is. So the Cardinals, they get a win last night, and I know some comments from Miles Michaelis, who said he wants to get to that 200 mark, that he feels like the season hasn't been very good for him individually. Obviously, we know the team struggled, but he wants to get to 200. How important is that for a pitcher to at least have that for them?
Well, that's very important to Miles Michaelis. 200 innings is his goal, 200 and over that amount. And I appreciate that about Miles because he's a guy who loves to compete. He goes out there, gives it his best. He's working on his slider. He's working on getting more swings and misses, and it is working. That's the great thing about it. He had 4 swings and misses 3 starts ago. Then he had 10 the start before last night. And then last night, he was able to dominate. He retired, 15 of the last 16 batters he faced, and he got out of a second and third nobody out situation after they scored their first run. So he had a great performance last night, and he can build off of that. But that always has been important to him to get to 200 innings. And that's one of the things I appreciate about Miles Michaelis.
Yeah, and we know that he's going to be part of the rotation for the 2024 season. It does seem like he's just one of the couple of guys you feel like you could count on. How comfortable are you with the idea that he can have a rebound next year?
Oh, I think he can if he has the proper spring training and he has the proper build up to the regular season. I think that's important for him. He didn't have that because of the World Baseball Classic, and Team USA hardly used him. So it's not like being in camp with your teammates and pitching on a regular schedule where, all right, I'm going 2 innings the first game, I'm going to go 3 the next, build up to 4, and build up to the start of the season. He had his pitching on the side with Team USA, but it's not like facing the other teams and other batters in building up your arm and getting ready for the regular season. And he had to do that his first 5-6 starts in the regular season, and that's where things went south for him. But he's having a strong finish here. He had given up, 5 runs in each of the last 2 starts, but last night he was the old Miles who appeared, with the Cardinals his first year, going to the All-Star game, and then he was an All-Star last year. He looked really good last night, and that is something to build on.
So we know this upcoming weekend, It's a big weekend in St. Louis, final homestand of the season, just a 3-gamer against the Reds. But maybe more importantly, it will be Waino weekend. And we have found out, he said so yesterday, that he has thrown his last pitch. He is not going to pitch over the weekend. I think for a lot of people that is disappointing, but I mean, I don't know what you can say about somebody who's had one of the most important Cardinal careers as a pitcher.
Well, it's really hard for him to raise that right arm with that shoulder right now and trying to make a pitch. And he was talking about the last curveball he threw to Josh Donaldson when he struck him out in that great performance the Monday night when he won 200 games a week ago this past Monday. And he said, I wanted to throw one more. I wanted to get on top of it. I wanted to get up there. One more curveball, just one more. And he did. And with the applause and the fans chanting his name, coming off the field, leaving it to the bullpen, leaving it to his teammates, they came through for him. That's the way to go out. That's the storybook finish to a brilliant career. 200 victories, a world championship as a closer in his first full year in the major leagues back in 2006, a two-time 19-game winner, two-time 20-game winner. That's the way you close out a career, and he's going to leave it at that as far as his pitching. Now, he's going to take a few swings in the cage, and we saw some batting gloves in the locker. Maybe he gets an at-bat over the weekend, but we'll have to see how those games play out and how meaningful they are for the Reds, too. That's another thing to think about.
He said that I can swing a bat as long as I don't swing at something over my head. He'll be okay.
I think he'll be fine. You know, he hit a home run his very first at bat.
That's
when
right.
He hit against the Giants in San Francisco in 2006. And that was something to behold. You know, last night was kind of a strange thing with the Cardinals winning. And then, thank goodness, they didn't have to see the Brewers celebrate on the field as they went to the clubhouse and watched the finish of the Cub game. But I remember a game when the White Sox clinched a division in Minnesota. The White Sox lost on a Jim Dwyer walk-off home run. And at the same time, a game in Kansas City affected the standings, and the White Sox learned at that moment that they were division champions. Both clubs were celebrating like crazy on the field. The Twins walk off, the White Sox winning the division. It didn't get that strange last night, thank goodness, because the Brewers were in their clubhouse. But I had witnessed something like that before.
Do you think if a team, I know everybody's looking for motivation, and there's so many months before the 2024 season happens, but do you believe in the idea that watching another team celebrate on their field, whether it's in front of you or on your own home field, adds motivation to you for a following season? I'm not sure if I believe in the idea. I'm wondering if you think there's something there, though.
I'm not sure if it adds motivation, but it does show your young players, look at what they accomplished. That's what we're trying to do, and that's what you want to do. That can be a teaching moment. Whether it's motivation, it's something to experience, and certainly something to behold. And believe me, the guys in the other dugout watching that don't like it. And so in many ways, that's not all bad. You want to get to that point. And I think the Cardinals will get back there, and they're working on it right now to turn things around for the 2024 season. So that can be a teaching moment. And just knowing that they had their champagne celebration in the clubhouse last night, the young players, they see the division winner, and congratulations to the Brewers, because they certainly pitched it well enough. They have one of the top ERAs in Major League Baseball as a pitching staff, and they hit well enough to get to where they wanted to be. But how interesting would it be to finish up against the Cubs and then have to open up at home against the Cubs next Tuesday? Of course, that's assuming the Cubs are a wild card. That right now is in flux in the National League. So there's a lot there that a young player can absorb and look at, and what's involved in September baseball. And that's something that many of these players that we didn't expect to see here up from AAA and the minor leagues, they can take in and make it a learning experience. Is it motivation? To me, it's up to the individual, Chris.
Speaking of teaching moment, how did Matt Pauley do in the broadcast booth last night?
He did just fine. He had a nice major league debut, and I critiqued one of his early tapes when he first started doing minor league baseball.
Oh.
And I worked with his dad. Bill was at Garden View Care Centers with Richard Winter for many years as the media director. And his dad, Bill, worked at KMOX years ago under Bob Hyland. And I called Bill yesterday. I said, guess what's going to happen tonight? He goes, my son's on the other line. I said, well, act surprised.
That's really
Breaking.
funny.
Matt's so excited, and John swoops in. I've got the breaking news.
So I asked Matt today, I said, how did your dad take the news? Oh, he was emotional about it and all that. I said, well, mission accomplished.
That's awesome.
It's great. I mean, you get to call a game for a team that you grew up rooting for. I'm not sure there's much better than that.
Oh, I can tell you that firsthand.
You know it
I grew
firsthand,
up
yeah.
following the Cardinals, and I worked with Jack Buck and Mike Shannon my first game in 1984 in Cincinnati. Louisville, I was doing the Redbirds. They had just drawn their millionth fan, the first minor league team to ever do that. Then I went up to Cincinnati, and it was quite intimidating working with Jack Buck.
Oh, yeah.
And I corrected Jack. Didn't mean to, but there was a bunt, and the throw hit the runner in the back. And Jack said, I think the ball hit him as he got out of the batter's box. I said, well, I think you got him in the back on the throw. I just didn't think about it. And in between innings, Buck looked over to the general manager. I think it was Dick Wagner over there. And hey, what happened there? Oh, the throw hit my guy in the back. He was running inside the line. He was out. He goes, thank you. I appreciate that very much. But I called a George Hendrick double like it was a fast break in the final four. And Jack looked at me between innings. You better slow down, kid. You're going to wear them out. You have 162 of these to do. Slow down.
That's awesome. How
Such a great
incredible
story.
is that?
I love that so
And then
much.
Mike walks in. What are you doing, big boy? And Mike made it easy. He broke the tension and broke the ice. But that was my first big league game. But I told Matt last night, I said, hey, don't make this bigger than it is. It is a big deal. Trust me. But don't make it bigger than it is. It's just like those minor league games, except easier. You know the players.
Yep.
And you have a better press box, a better view. And it's just better up here than it is in the minors. And enjoy it. Let's have a little fun. I did my first Final Four game with Kurt Gowdy. And Kurt Gowdy is one of the greatest who ever worked in broadcasting and sportscasting. And I'm sitting by Kurt at the table in Seattle. And I said, Kurt, why am I here? And he goes, I don't want to do the play-by-play anymore. I just want to host this and have a good time and hope it's a good game. And he could not have been nicer. And I worked a few Game of the Week broadcasts with him in baseball. I remember a home run that was hit in Boston. I was working a game at Fenway where Kurt worked for years. And he said, here's the pitch. And before I could call the home run, he goes, that's out of here.
Hey, let me
thank you, Kurt.
let me call the play, Tony Romo. Let's let the play happen first.
Oh, I loved it. But I just told him, I said, let's have some fun with this. And Milwaukee, they're trying to play for a celebration, and we're trying to spoil it. So let's have some fun.
Well, yeah, and I know Matt Pauly is learning from a great one right now. So, and I'm not just saying that to be nice.
Oh, Kurt Gowdy's here?
No, oh come on, John. I've told this before, but I'm gonna tell you again, Amy. When John Rooney left the White Sox, Sox fans were beside themselves. They loved that broadcast team with Ed Farmer.
Yeah,
loved you guys. So
we had a lot of fun, and we were fortunate enough to be rated the best American League broadcast by USA Today, simply because we had a good time.
Yeah,
and we were behind the Dodgers and the Giants in MLB at that point. But I look at it, and people are saying this must be a tough year for you. I mean, geez, yeah, it's tough for the team and tough on the Cardinal fans, but it's Cardinal baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go to the ballpark every day. I get to do a game. I get to do Major League Baseball, and Ricky and I have a ball. We got a great team up there. Jim Jackson, Mike Claiborne, and Matt Pauly getting a chance to experience that. And, we have Tom Ackerman and some others doing our pre and post game, and we got a really good crew, and that's what makes it fun. I love going to the ballpark. Win, lose, or draw. Yeah, we get disappointed in the game Sunday, drubbing in San Diego. Yeah, that's tough to take, but the way the team came back last night and performed, that's a lot of fun. And we played well 3 out of 4 games on this trip, and we're 2-2 and playing with a lot of inexperienced guys at the big league level, but it's still a lot of fun. And that's the way Ed and I approached it in Chicago. And you don't think Mike Shannon didn't have fun every day when he was up there? That was the name of the game. We're going to go give the fans a good time. And I'm telling you, Chris and Amy, if we don't have fun, the fans won't.
Yeah.
And believe you me, we're going to have fun up there because it's the Cardinals. I always wanted to do the Cardinals, and I get a chance to broadcast every day. That's what makes it worthwhile.
Well, and also Wednesdays at 11:30. I know this is a highlight of your week. So, do we get you next week, or is this it for us for the season?
No, we're doing next week. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I just made that call.
Oh,
I made an executive decision.
Executive decision. Wow.
John, thank
right
you
here,
so much.
John
listening
Rooney.
to this classical music in the lobby of the Pfister.
The Pfister ghost got in your ear.
Actually, the ghost said, "You better do it." Hey, whatever you say, I'm in.
You don't know what that guy's capable of.
Yeah. Oof.
All right, John Rooney. We'll talk to you next week.
Especially when the ghost has an axe in his hand. I mean, what are you gonna do?
You're gonna do it.
You're gonna do the show.
Oh yeah. Right. So we're doing next Wednesday. We're gonna wrap it up, put a bow on it, and really look forward to the hot stove. I'm telling you, it's going to be a very, very interesting offseason.
Talk to you next
Love
week,
it.
John. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Have a great one.
You
John
too.
Rooney, who was guilted into it by a ghost
With an axe.
with an axe. He'll be with us next week, right
Ah.
here again at 11:30 on Wednesday on KMOX.
STL FenceWorks is proud and excited to install American-made aluminum and vinyl fence products, as well as American-made decking. For instance, STL FenceWorks, well, they've teamed up with Jareth Manufacturing, and Jareth invented the aluminum fence industry over 50 years ago, and all of their product is wholly sourced and manufactured right here in the U.S., and STL FenceWorks is the third largest Jareth customer in the world. And don't forget their decks. You know me, I'm a deck person. It just changes your whole home, adds value, adds space. STL FenceWorks is the #1 distributor of Wolf cellular PVC decking in the Midwest that is proudly manufactured right here in the U.S. And oh, by the way, it's the #1 maintenance-free decking product in the country. STL FenceWorks really can make your outdoor space magical. Listening to Cardinal baseball, barbecuing. We've been having football Sundays out on the deck. You can have a little bonfire. You can have a TV out there. It is a great space to make time for family and friends. At STL FenceWorks, your satisfaction is their passion. Visit them today at stlfenceworks.com.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events, so call your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you, and we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're for Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
KMOX celebrates the career of Cardinals great Adam Wainwright.
2 on, 2 out. An 0-2 pitch. Wainwright has the sign he wants. He brings it home. In. Swing and a miss. The Cardinals are world champions for 2006. And Wainwright greets the catcher and a mob of the pitcher and catcher on the mound here at Busch Stadium.
Congratulations, Waino, on 200 wins and a legendary career. Stay tuned to KMOX for this final historic weekend in the career of Adam Wainwright on Cardinals Radio, KMOX. Wednesday, September 30th. Come kick it with KMOX at St. Louis Union Station and celebrate the home game of St. Louis City SC. The pregame pep rally will take place on the Purina Performance Plaza, featuring live entertainment, soccer-themed games, Union Station attraction giveaways, and more. Afterwards, get closer to the game and visit a pitch at STL Union Station as City SC takes on Sporting KC. Pep rally starts at 4. Game starts at 7:30. We'll see you there.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The vote is in. STL Today has certified the result. Onder Law has been voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
According to the U.S. debt clock, in the time you hear this commercial, our nation's debt will go up by $1.5 million. That's more than $2 billion a day. Right now, our debt is over $31 trillion and climbing fast. The question is, how do we pay it off? The answer is increasing taxes. Now think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? Whether you should pay taxes now or in retirement depends on a lot of things. Heisey Advisory Group knows what to look for and can help you create a customized plan so your retirement is as tax efficient as possible. Schedule your visit with Heisey Advisory Group now, 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisors. Security products and services made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. AEFS and Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC are not affiliated. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation.
Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Well, good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act is now with Truehold. Truehold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. Truehold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash to do whatever you like, while Truehold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Did you know that St. Louis Composting has an array of STA-certified compost, soil, and mulch products that are available by the bag or by the truckload? It's the healthy, all-natural, cold-weather guide for your garden and lawn. For more information, visit stlcompost.com.
More Amy, more Chris.
What is this weird show?
It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Amy had a story to tell me, but she refuses to tell me because we don't have enough time. So here's what I'm going to remind you to do.
Story.
Yeah, you did. You said you had something that was going to make me happy, but then you refused to tell me the story. And at any rate, we just listen to the Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app. Listen to the show live. KMOX.com or podcasts are all available there for you. Hour 3 of the show is next.
You may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin. Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 and take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Call for the DGS special 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Paramount Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
There's an old joke about Uncle Sam's new tax short form. The first line says, "How much did you make?" The next line says, "Send it in." Really, not that funny, but that's what a lot of people do in retirement. They take money out of their 401k or IRA and end up sending it in when they pay taxes. Steve All of the All Financial Group invites you to take their tax challenge. What if your current plan included thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes and fees, or maybe higher Medicare premiums or a lower Social Security check? What if the savings you realized could allow you to retire early? Wouldn't you want to know about that right now? Take the All Financial Group Tax Challenge and find out. There's no charge. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. September is World Ozone Month, so it's a great month to get rid of all your aerosol sprays. When we each share a one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, the news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Sunny skies, 75 degrees downtown at the Arch, our top story this hour. New Jersey Senator Robert Menendez and his wife were in a New York City federal court today and pled not guilty on bribery charges. This comes amid growing calls from legislators for Menendez to resign, including some from fellow Democrats. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian.
Over half of the Senate Democratic caucus has now called on him to step down. Senator Patty Murray, who is part of leadership, is just the latest to come out suggesting that he should step down. So this is something that the senator will have to take under consideration. Although yesterday on Capitol Hill, he again said that he is innocent and not going anywhere.
Wentzville school board members discussed transgender bathroom policies in a closed session. Now they're getting sued by Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey, who says that was a violation of the state's open meetings law. What protection do the two whistleblowers have? We asked KMOX legal analyst Brad Young.
Missouri has a whistleblowers law, so they cannot be retaliated against. They cannot be punished because of coming forward with information that under the whistleblower statute states that if you are alerting government officials regarding illegal or inappropriate activities by government officials, you're protected under the statute.
We're seeing more homeless people congregate outside Mayor Tashara Jones' window.
The tent city outside of St. Louis City Hall continues to grow, now up to about 20 tents on the premises, up from just a handful of tents just a few weeks ago. I spoke with Milton Turner. He says he's been here longer than anyone and that these people are just looking for a chance.
We've had some bad past issues, but we've learned from those things and just give us a chance.
I asked Turner if he anticipates more people coming and setting up tents outside of City Hall. He said he certainly hopes not, because that means those people have been unhoused. Outside St. Louis City Hall, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Food support for millions of low-income families is at risk if the government goes into a partial shutdown this Sunday. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack says many people who rely on the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program, also known as WIC, will be impacted.
They won't be able to obtain the benefit. They won't be able to have access to infant formula, the fruits and vegetables that this particular program provides to nearly 7 million pregnant women, postpartum women, babies, and children under the age of 6 years.
North Korea has expelled U.S. soldier Travis King, who crossed into the North Korean side on foot from South Korea in July. CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland is surprised that King was released so soon.
They hold him for a substantial period of time, one guy's case for several decades, and they became prominent figures in North Korean propaganda. Don't forget, a lot of what North Korean propaganda is for domestic consumption.
The KMOX business desk, how's that price at the pump?
Don't look now, but oil, the highest it's been in over a year, closing in on $94 a barrel. That's after U.S. stockpiles of crude fell last week to the lowest level in over a year. So look for prices at the gas pump to move higher again soon. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Prices stable in St. Louis, according to Gas Buddy, at $3.63 a gallon. And the Dow from Stifel is currently down 178 points to 33,440. And right now, we've got some slow-moving roadwork on 44 going east at Hampton. The right lane is closed. We've had an impact on 44 west at Gray's Summit because of a 3-vehicle crash. Stalled vehicle 55 south to 270 north. The right lane closed.
This afternoon's going to be mostly sunny and warming up in the low 80s. Then moonlit tonight, low 60s. Low to mid 80s again tomorrow with some sunshine. Then even warmer. In fact, flirting with 90 and record territory Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That dry and warm weather continues into next week. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Times are always changing, but Penn Mutual stands the test of time. The 176-year young mutual company is leading the way in life insurance. Ask your independent advisor or go to Penn americanmutual.com/STO. Right now, partly cloudy, 75. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Time to rewind. It's the Chris and Amy Rewind Recap.
I think we called it an eventful day today, didn't we?
Oh,
It has been
yeah.
extremely eventful.
I
We
would
started the
say-
show. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, I think the past 2 days have been incredibly eventful. Not as much fun in the infuriating. Yesterday
yeah.
we put the fun. Yesterday we put the fun in infuriating.
Infuriating.
But today was just more fun. I don't think anybody was infuriated.
No, I don't think so, because we talked about the presidential debate, the primary debate to start the show.
Hopeless. That's what we were.
Oh, yesterday or today?
Today with
Today.
the GOP debate. Yeah, we were infuriated yesterday. Today, hopeless.
The question we asked of you was, what do you want to hear the candidates say tonight? And I think we're really talking to mostly Republican primary voters or people who are interested in this process. I think we know what Democrats would say. I would want to know if there's anything that anybody who considers themselves a Republican would need to hear from one of the candidates tonight, or whether or not anything they say matters. And the reason we ask the question is there is a guy who is not participating, who is so far ahead of everybody else in the polls that he appears to be the presumptive nominee. Now, if that's the case, it almost feels like these debates are pointless unless, personally, for each individual involved, they're trying to set up a greater political career by making themselves look good, or maybe ending up being the vice presidential nominee.
Yeah. Again, when I watched the debate last time, I really liked what Nikki Haley had to say. I liked how she said it. I liked that she stood up to the smarmy, salesman-y, grifty, arrogant Vivek Ramaswamy. And I appreciated that. And I feel like when she laid out her policy on different contentious issues, she did so in a very principled and diplomatic way. That's great. That's what I'm hoping to see more from Nikki Haley. And, I think she separated herself from Trump enough that maybe if he were the primary, if he did win the GOP primary and he's the Republican nominee, I'm not sure that he would pick her. I don't think he would. Does that mean that she would have a chance on elections down the road? Maybe. Maybe she's establishing herself for the post-Trump era. But watching this debate as a Republican, I do feel a little bit like I said, like that couple in a movie where they're in love and they're sitting there and the world is blowing up around them and the whole world is going to end, alien invasion or something. So they're going to die. They're just waiting to get blown up. But in order to live in denial for a few minutes, they talk about building a house and having their kids and how great it's going to be to grow old together. Tears are streaming down their face and then they die. That's kind of how I feel with the GOP debates and Trump.
And we've had a few people who have texted in and say, yes, Nikki Haley, I like her. This message to 314-436-7900 says there is nothing they could say because there are no politicians that have any credibility anymore. It has become who will destroy the country the least. I mean,
well, maybe even that's darker than me.
Yeah, I don't feel that way about the situation. And I really hate
Is that the My Patriot Supply guy?
that's like
That guy's
let me build you a bunker. No, I never really like that take. And I understand where people are coming from when they say, I don't trust politicians, because it's okay to have an inherent distrust of them because of all the stories you see, like the Bob Menendez story out of New Jersey. This guy clearly did something wrong. He did something that probably wasn't legal. There is evidence and enough evidence to indict him. And he's still maintaining that he did nothing wrong and he's not going to back down on it, even though people in his own party are trying to get him to. You see things like that and you think, well, they're all crooked. All of them. They're all taking money under the table. They're all doing something they shouldn't be doing. I don't like that because it just isn't true. I do believe there are good people in public service, and I do believe there are a lot of people in Congress. If you're in the House of Representatives, there are some senators that really, truly want to do good by the public. I do believe that to be true. So, but it's a lot of times it's hard to identify just exactly who those people are. So I get the sentiment, but I'm not so cynical about it to think that none of them really want anything good for people in this country.
I know you said the betting odds changed when it comes to a head-to-head matchup of Trump and Biden. I do feel like Donald Trump is so hugely unpopular that he is one of the few Republican nominees that is a guaranteed loss to Joe Biden. I think there are so many people who are so tired of Trump and his antics that they're probably thinking like me, well, I wish I could vote for a conservative, but I can't possibly vote for Trump. And so I think if it is Trump versus Biden in 2024, I think Biden will win. I not just the popular vote, obviously, like last time, but he's going to run away with it, I think. And win in the electoral votes, all of that, because people are so tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, the betting odds I think they're good to look at. But I agree with you. I think if it's Biden-Trump, Biden wins probably fairly easily. Maybe, and there are a lot of people who think that if Haley ends up being the nominee, if the Republican Party would just do that, that she'd have a great chance of winning.
That I'm glad you bring that up. I feel like Haley would beat Biden, but Biden will beat Trump.
I don't know. I don't think it's outrageous for you to think that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would happen, but I think it'd be pretty close. It's probably going to be close anyway, honestly. We also spoke with Claudia Gazzini, who is a senior analyst for Libya for the International Crisis Group. And we talked about what is happening there in the death toll and how it all happened.
So I'm saying all of this to say it's not a clear-cut story. Yes, lack of maintenance, political chaos, feuds, splits in the country, war played a role, but also it was just a major storm that brought down a lot of rain. In fact, authorities of the Ministry of Water that I talked to claim, and this is their official line, that even a newly built dam with those same specifications would have not withheld the wall of water that came down.
What did she say? Within 5 hours, they got a year's worth of rain?
Oh,
that's just
you
wow.
can't wrap
And
your mind around it.
16 Libyan officials have been detained.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to be scapegoated for it when it may or may not be anybody's fault, really.
Or we can just push back against a monocausal explanation where it was just this, it was just the repair work. Well, it was an extraordinarily awful natural disaster, that phenomenon of all of that rain. And then you put that on top of infrastructure that has not been kept up to date. It's probably multiple things that made it so bad. I know the New York Times had a story about the infrastructure projects that were neglected, even though certain officials were still pocketing money.
A lot about the orbit was learned, about the materials, and that will allow us to better predict in this planetary defense program, what the heck is going to happen when these Earth crossers, these asteroids, actually are dangerous. Can we move them out of the way? Do we have to blow them up, or exactly what? Plus, we're looking at the birth of the solar system 4.5 billion years ago, and this material has never been processed through planets, so it's the birthing stuff that we're all made out of.
Dr. Ray Arvidsson, James McDonald, distinguished professor at Wash U, talking about the OSIRIS-REx asteroid, the sample landing, here on Earth. They're able to examine it and what it all means. And what it means is, I think what we learned is that aliens.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely aliens. No aliens. Speaking of aliens, we did ask Dr. Arvidsson about the aliens in Mexico.
There are thousands and thousands of planets around other stars and other galaxies and with our own galaxy. And some of them are what is called the Goldilocks zone, which is where you need to be in the distance from the star to have liquid water. So the instruments and the spacecraft are getting better and better. So I think the probability that life is out there elsewhere is pretty high. The problem, Chris, is they're light years apart from us. tens to millions of light years apart. And light year is like the distance that light travels in a year. It's over 6 trillion miles.
So he did say that there are probably aliens out there somewhere, but the Mexico alien is what, quote, baloney.
Baloney.
Baloney. That's not real.
made of baloney, but just, yeah.
I mean, it could be for
it
all
could
we
be
know.
made of baloney for all we know. Yeah, so sorry about that. But I love talking to Dr. Arvidsson, and just crazy that the OSIRIS-REx from NASA left in 2016, and according to the NASA website, traveled billions of miles to get this asteroid. Not that the asteroid was billions of miles away, but just when you factor in the orbiting and such, it traveled a lot.
You're okay? Is everything all right?
Having a stroke. I think I'm okay. John Rooney. We spoke with John Rooney, and Matt Pauley had a pretty cool experience last night.
He did. Matt Pauley did play-by-play for the Cardinals. It was his first ever Major League play-by-play. And having to fill in for Rick Horton last minute. Rick feeling sick. And so Matt Pauley drove 6 hours
We got to
all
ask
the way
him
up to
about
Milwaukee.
this.
We're going to talk to him tomorrow about it.
Ask him, where were you when you got the call and you hopped in the car?
Oh, I believe the conversation we had earlier today of it's very likely that he wasn't even fully dressed and just ran to the car and said, I'll be there.
You know how the kids
I'll be there.
run out? They've got they're holding their pants up with one hand because their pants aren't buckled. They've got one shoe in the other hand. They're running out to the car. That's how I picture Matt Pauley running to the car.
AJ Pierzynski, who used to be a Cardinals catcher for one season, he was with the Twins, with the White Sox, spring training one year. He's driving to the ballpark and he's late. So he drove there in his uniform, which typically you don't do. And he gets pulled over because he's speeding and his pants are open. He he hadn't even belted up. He hadn't.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, what is going on in here? He's like, I'm late. I'm late to the game. I got to go.
That's awesome.
Great stuff.
Hey, do you want to get to some Travis Kelce audio next?
Yeah, let's do that because Travis Kelce, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, is finally on the map. He's on the map because of Taylor Swift. We'll talk about that next on KMOX.
Local news and information direct to your smart speaker. Just say, play KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Onder Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
It's football season at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, featuring the best pool in history. Stadium Square, 3 levels, 6 pools, and a 143-foot diagonal screen. Stadium Swim is America's favorite place to watch football. Touchdown! Unbelievable! Stadium Swim, located at Circa Resort and Casino. Book today at CircaLasVegas.com. That's CircaLasVegas.com.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. It's always great to work with Spring Green, no matter the season. And this fall, aerating and overseeding your lawn is the best time to thicken up the yard. Take care of some of those trouble spots by reaching out to Spring Green, spring-green.com. Top dressing your lawn with compost is the single best thing you can do to your lawn every year. Shrub pruning, cutting back your perennials from the fall, installing a retaining wall can help with curb appeal as well. Spring-green.com. Hi, it's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000, 12990 Manchester Road, just a half mile west of 270. I was there this year for my annual eye health examination, and I'm so happy that I did. Not only is my vision in good shape, but now I have peace of mind that I have good health. You see, an eye health examination can detect many health issues like diabetes or high blood pressure. So it's nice to know that they were able to check me over. Also, it was covered by my medical insurance, and I did not realize that the first time that I went for an annual eye exam. So that's terrific. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer, very thankful for them. Ophthalmology Associates, the doctors, 314-966-5000. You should also schedule your eye exam and reach out to them. And when you do, tell them that Tom Ackerman sent you to Ophthalmology Associates. Also online at youridoc.com.
News, talk, sports. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Well, Trav, how's it feel that Taylor Swift has finally put you on the map?
I just thought it was awesome how everybody in the suite had nothing but great things to say about her. You know, the friends and family. She looked amazing. Everybody was talking about her in great light. And on top of that, the day went perfect for Chiefs fans, of course. We script it all, ladies and gentlemen. But to see the slow motion chest bumps, to see the high fives with mom, to see how, you know, Chiefs Kingdom was all excited that she was there, that was absolutely hysterical. It was definitely a game I'll remember. That's for damn sure. And then we just slid off in the getaway car at the end.
I mean, everybody's talking about it.
Everyone. Shout out to Taylor for coming through and see me rock the stage.
That is Travis and Jason Kelce. They got a podcast called The New Heights Podcast, and it jumped to number 1 on Apple already.
Yeah.
They dropped it this morning on YouTube. This is just the YouTube views, 368,000 views.
Yeah.
And this was dropped about 3 hours ago. It was a broadcast for the first time. So that is them talking about the Taylor Swift effect. I love that these two folks are now in love. I love love. And they are in love. And I think that's wonderful. And we should celebrate Travis and Taylor.
It is wonderful for the NFL because I think I was saying if anyone could take down the NFL, it would be Taylor Swift because the NFL is invincible. But Taylor Swift is just a power we haven't seen before. And that's why I thought she could take down the NFL. However, if she chooses to use her power for good, she is absolutely going to grow the NFL audience even more than the behemoth that it is. And that is, I'm like, oh my gosh, no one is happier about this than the NFL.
See, here's
one.
Here's where you're wrong. There is no damage possible to the NFL.
But if
they call it
could,
the shield for a reason because it has a shield and they are immune from anything. And
they've never faced Taylor Swift
But
before.
here's all that will happen. You would have to get people who already like the NFL to stop liking it. She ain't going to do that. But what she can do is bring new people in who either will stay or not stay. So the worst case scenario for the league is no effect whatsoever. But what's likely going to happen is she'll bring a positive effect and she'll bring new listeners who know nothing about football to the New Heights Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce podcast.
We are going to answer some questions from some of our new fans and people who are going to be tuning in maybe potentially for the first time. Question number 1 from @ISaidSpeakNow on Twitter. What's a field goal?
Just blatant.
Okay.
What's a field goal? Those are the kind of listeners now.
Okay, you know what? He and by he I mean Chris Ranji. I think he's absolutely right on everything he just said after I said Taylor Swift could take down the NFL. I think he's right. I've changed my mind. And again, I said these numbers yesterday, but I think it bears repeating. Week 3's national NFL on Fox window ranked first among females 12 to 17, females 18 to 34, females 18 to 49, and the F2 plus demos this week. That is growing the game. I have talked to so many people about this Kelsey Swift thing and football fans, people from Kansas City, and asking them, what do you think? Several of them, not a small percentage of them, thought this has got to be some kind of marketing ploy, whether it's completely scripted, whether they're just friends but are playing it up, or that perhaps Travis Kelce's initial ask was unscripted, but then both the NFL and Taylor Swift saw the potential in the collision of the two biggest moneymakers in the country.
This is two 33-year-old adults that are just madly in love. Why can't you accept it?
Oh, I
Accept
mean,
the love
I
they're in.
can. I was just crowdsourcing opinions.
Yeah, no, that's your deep down because you hate
The
Taylor so
NFL
much.
the NFL has tried over and over again to market to women and hide the fact that they don't value women at all. And so they do that by wearing pink gloves, during the season sometime. They could not have picked a better person to get women into the NFL.
Listen, I know one person that absolutely agrees with you, and the two of you are clearly in lockstep.
Now, a couple of months back, we forgave Travis Kelce for his Bud Light commercial, but pushing the jab, no, that's just a little too rich for my blood, no pun intended. So perhaps this T Swift Travis Kelce thing is a match made in heaven after all, and I wish them the best of luck, not with their relationship per se, but rather myocarditis. And those are my final thoughts from Nashville. God bless and take care.
Gross.
That's Tommy Lahren. I
She
didn't even know
is
she was still
so-
around.
I did not either
I thought she was dead.
until I saw some. There were some actually conservatives that I follow on Twitter were retweeting that because it's gross. I wish them
She's
luck
such
with
an idiot.
myocarditis.
She is such an idiot.
It's really
oh my
dumb.
God.
It's
she
dumb.
wishes myocarditis on them because they got vaccinated.
Well,
Go to hell.
I mean, she's saying, I wish them luck that they don't get it.
That's not what
but
she's
that
saying.
whole thing.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm
She
not
sucks.
that bad. That's why I said
Hey.
I'm cheering for T Swift whenever I watch that Tommy Lahren
Nope.
thing.
You and Tommy Lahren are the same person now.
Take it back or I will end you.
Hey, you know who's going to bring us donuts?
Charlie Brennan.
Charlie Brennan. He's coming up next on KMOX. What a guy.
Hey guys, it's Dave from the Dave Glover Show, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays on KMOX. Let me do a promo that no one's ever done in the history of radio. I talk 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's impossible to do without saying a lot of really, really stupid stuff. So if you would like to see someone just melt down about once a week, tune in. It can happen anytime between 1 and 5. Usually happens in the 2 o'clock hour. I'm not sure why. 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on KMOX weekdays. It's the DGS.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Rochelle talks about her experience with 3-day kitchen and bath.
It was a wonderful experience. I had heard about them on the radio. They come out to your house. They let you know what they do. They let you pick out your features, your colors, and then they come into your home the morning they start. They walk you through, this is what's going to happen, and you leave for a few days, and you come home, and it's done.
Was it easy?
It made it easy because you're not in the middle of a mess for 2 or 3 months. Left on a Tuesday morning, and it was done on a Thursday night. We came home Friday morning early because we were so excited.
What was your reaction when you first saw it?
Wow.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
Fairwinds River's Edge is an award-winning independent living community located in the heart of St. Charles. Voted Best Independent Living by U.S. News and World Report. Fairwinds River's Edge provides life-enhancing independent living services you need to support your best self. We believe that joy isn't just for the young, it's for the young at heart. With services and amenities handling life's necessities, you can dance and enjoy live entertainment at happy hour, play a competitive game of beanbag baseball with your neighbors, participate in an aqua fitness class at a warm water pool, or go out to Crown Candy for lunch. Say goodbye to home maintenance, cooking, and cleaning, and hello to the fun. In our active community for adults 55 plus, you'll cultivate connections and make meaningful memories in a community that feels like home. Join the fun at Fairwinds, River's Edge on Friday, October 27th at our Beer Fest and Costume Happy Hour Party. Call 636-754-2317 to RSVP.
12:30, partly cloudy, 76 degrees. Senator Dick Durbin spoke on Capitol Hill with a message for House Republicans vowing to shut down the government in a matter of days. The Assistant Majority Leader said 800,000 Americans could go without paychecks if this happens, and talked about other potential effects.
It could jeopardize the benefits of more than 6 million American participants in the Special Supplement Nutrition Program for women, children, and infants, including 170,000 in my home state of Illinois.
If you had plans to head to the art museum today, you'll need to reschedule. There's no power. A transformer went out yesterday, causing a power outage. There's no estimated time on when the power will be restored. Any tickets purchased for the culture, hip hop, and contemporary art in the 21st century will be refunded.
I'm Tom Ackerman. The Cardinals come your way tonight at 6:40. Pregame at 5:45. Matt Pauley will have it, and he'll call the game with John Rooney from Milwaukee. Cardinals and Brewers. The Cardinals won yesterday 4-1, but they couldn't hold the Brewers from clinching the NL Central. That's because the Cubs lost 7-6 last night to the Braves. We also learned yesterday that Adam Wainwright confirmed he will not throw another pitch in his career. Last week's 200th win against the Brewers was the final outing, as he'll be celebrated this weekend at Busch Stadium. This report sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Swim next summer. AlohaPoolsUSA.com.
We've got a crash on Big Bend at Shrewsbury. Also slow-moving road work on 44 East at Hampton. The right lane closed. Stall 55 South to 270 North in the right lane. Sunny and warm for the rest of today with a high of 82. Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. Clear tonight, low 63. Tomorrow's high 83. At the moment, 76. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
JerryKelly.com says if you purchase a full home comfort system today, they'll install it the very next day.
That's fast.
And guaranteed. Buy a home comfort system from Jerry Kelly today, and they'll install it tomorrow, or they'll give you $500. Guaranteed.
JerryKelly.com. Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. When choosing a skilled nursing memory care community, considered by U.S. News and World Reports as a best memory care community, choose Park Provence, where expert care is not cost prohibitive because they understand the challenges of today. For nearly 20 years, Park Provence has been the experts at treating dementia and Alzheimer's disease. If you're faced with making a difficult decision for your loved one, call today at 314-542-2500 or visit parkprovence.com. That's P-A-R-C Provence.com.
Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Well, good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act is now with Truehold. Truehold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. Truehold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash to do whatever you like, while Truehold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sunday mornings at 10:15 on Sports on a Sunday morning. And Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show on Cardinals Radio, KMOX.
It's Amy March, Scores, and Chris Ranji on KMOX. Oh my gosh, I know that fella.
There's a special guest in
Special
Studio
guest.
B.
Not even on the Quiver River guest line. He's in studio. I see his face. Charlie Brennan, what's up?
Good afternoon, Chris and Amy. How you guys doing?
So, well, we're doing great now that you're here, Charlie.
Hey, that's theft. Hey, I heard I was did I hear? I was wondering. I had heard that Dr. Samuel Berry was going to enter the transfer portal. Do you guys know where he ended up?
Ophthalmology Associates.
Oh, did he?
Sure
okay.
did.
I was
Yeah.
wondering about that.
Yeah, he is with the doctor's doctors.
Okay,
Ophthalmology
yeah.
Associates.
Yeah, he went through the transfer portal.
Do you even know what the transfer portal
Yes,
is?
I do,
What
because
is
I
it?
called it the port hole.
Oh, that's like on a ship?
Like on a ship. And Kevin Wheeler goes, he's not in the porthole. he's in the portal.
Charlie, big day Saturday.
It's going to be a big day on October the 7th.
October 7th.
A week from
Yep.
Saturday, we're planning 10,000
God,
bulbs.
I'm thinking it's already going to be October. Oh
No,
my
it's-
gosh.
no,
I don't have my.
We're getting there.
A week from Saturday.
It's only the 27th. Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought, never mind. Go ahead. Charlie.
Last year on the Skinker exit at 6440 westbound, we planted 4,400 tulips. This year we have 10,000 bulbs, 5,000 tulips, 5,000 daffodils. And they go in the ground thanks to our friends at the Cheshire who are going to dig these trenches.
Mhm.
We're looking for volunteers to place them. So if anyone's interested, you can contact me at cwbrennan@kmox.com. I know this is so exciting. I hope you contacted your cardiologist before listening to this episode, because this could have implications for your health. It's so crazy. But the first 40 people to sign up get a ticket to the High Point Theater, courtesy of Cinema St. Louis, and everybody who signs up is going to receive a ticket for next year's Cardinal season. Actually, 2 tickets, a voucher for 2 passes, courtesy of the Cardinals.
Okay, that's awesome. I think you buried the lead,
Mhm.
which is you don't have to dig the hole yourself.
Exactly.
You know how hard it is to dig a hole?
I do it every day in here.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
You're welcome.
No, it is, especially on the sides of the highways, because they're full of rocks and boulders
Yeah.
and whatnot.
So the trench will already be there. So you're just placing the bulbs and you'll get free Cardinals tickets.
Yeah. Now, you might want to put this in perspective. What will 10,000 bulbs in the spring look like? I don't know. I think it could be really glorious. Did you see it this past year when we had 4,400 daffodils,
Yes.
actually?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think?
Oh, I thought it looked great.
Okay. Well, we're going to double it this year.
She
I-
goes by it
I
all
go
the
by there
time.
every day.
I know it. That is your stomping ground.
That's right.
So
That's why I chose that intersection was for you.
Oh,
Rockhurst-
Charlie, this is a love letter to me from Charlie.
It truly is. Yes. Well,
nice.
actually, I've got bigger plans for the two of you. I think you should adopt some sort of exit ramp or somewhere on the highway, 55, 44, 70.
I was
and with
worried.
and
His heart just
Yeah.
I was worried you were going to say something live.
oh, you're talking about yes. Well, you too could lead a great campaign to put flowering material on the highways that would be a great reflection of you would give back to the community that's given you so much.
If we adopted an exit ramp to reflect us, Chris Ranji's exit ramp would be dead
Cactus.
flowers. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You have no soul.
I think we now live in a climate where cacti would live
well,
fruitfully. They
Fruitfully.
don't have any fruit.
There was a guest who wouldn't come on the program unless I gave her a cactus.
Who was that?
Her name was Eartha Kitt. She actually
Oh.
played a Catwoman on
Yeah, you know
Batman.
where the kid is. You gave her the cactus.
Yeah. she was staying at the Millennium Hotel. She had me pick her up. She goes, I will only go on the show if you give me a cactus. So I had to go buy her a cactus.
So I think that's going to be our cause, the Millennium Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is. I'm going to tell you something. It is the one thing in the city. Forget the crime. Forget the people running through stoplights. That hotel. That is the thing that pisses me off the
You're
most
telling
in
me
this entire city.
When you're sitting in the green seats at Busch Stadium, looking at the
Any
city, the
seats.
cityscape, you don't like to see the weeds growing out of the Millennium
No,
Hotel?
it's a horrible look.
No, it's true. And we've got a couple of those properties. You know, today there was another tweet by Andy Karanja of Crown Candy
That's right.
Kitchen
Andy
about the traffic that doesn't stop at stoplights in front of his restaurant on 14th Street, right?
Videos every day of people doing it.
Right. So I said, it's been 18 months that you've been describing this mayhem. Why not put in some temporary speed bumps? Or why doesn't the city do that? And some other Twitter poster, whatever you call the people on X now, said, you know what? we were supposed to do something like that outside Ted Drew's, and that never happened. And I was ashamed to learn that after that unfortunate, tragic death at Ted Drew's, when everyone said, we're going to put up a stoplight and a crosswalk, that never happened.
Really?
Nothing's happening in this town. There's like a great inability for people. I mean, we can all tweet pretty darn well. Social media, we got that down. But actually doing something?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, why is if all these cars are going through the traffic lights outside Crown Candy Kitchen, why doesn't somebody put up a temporary speed bump?
Right.
I mean, how difficult would that be?
And especially for a place that's
and
such an integral part of the city that everybody knows, and it gets a lot of traffic, of foot traffic, people going there.
Just like the Millennium Hotel.
Yes. So
a 2-iron away from Busch Stadium.
That's the thing to me. And Amy and I were talking about it a little yesterday. You've got the Arch Grounds. You've got this hotel and then Busch Stadium. It is as prime real estate as you could possibly get in the city of St. Louis. And it's been derelict for 10 years.
Well, you know what Michigan does? If you're an out-of-town owner of a piece of property, and this property, Millennium, is owned by a company in Singapore.
Yes.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Your taxes are higher. So let's say you're in Michigan, you own a piece of property on Lake Michigan. If you live in St. Louis, your taxes are higher than if you're a full-time Michigan resident. That's what we need to do.
Well, yeah, they are paying their taxes on time.
Oh,
and
did you
they've
tell them
been
about
fined.
the
They've
fee?
been fined. Do you know how much they've been fined over the course of a couple of years? I think it's something like going back to 2018. About $50.
Wow.
That's about $50, maybe $75 now. But each fine, they're allowed a $25 fine.
A
What
parking
does that
ticket
do?
in Clayton is that much.
What does a $25 fine do to a business?
Nothing. To a Singapore business, right?
No.
So that should be changed. Apparently, this week, for the first time, the city of St. Louis is going to hold a public hearing on the money it received from the Rams almost 22 months ago, right? So we're going to have the first public hearing. And now, how many people are camped outside the mayor's office right now? And she's looking for ideas on how to spend the money.
Was that the Tuesday?
I think it was
Tuesday.
I think it was
meeting?
Monday or Tuesday night
Yeah.
that it happened.
You have so few police officers and 911 dispatchers that you're not even asking the police officers to initiate activity anymore. So if you see something crazy, but that's not obvious enough. So instead, we're gonna have a public hearing to hear people's ideas. Well, what do you think? I don't want to be elitist. You tell me, where should we spend this money?
Yeah. What are we, 200 police officers short now? You mentioned potholes.
It's
trash.
we're the full complement. We have 950, and the full complement's 1250, right? So we're 300.
It's
short.
it's crazy to me. And then speed bumps, potholes, whatever it may be, pick up the trash. These are simple, basic city services. So it's not, as you mentioned, it's not a big question mark as to where should we channel some of these funds. And I've said this before, but if you're looking at Chesterfield, you're looking at the city of St. Louis, and let's say all things are equal as far as businesses, schools, shops, crime or lack thereof. If the only difference between St. Louis City and Chesterfield is that in St. Louis City, when you call 911, there's a good chance they might not answer or it's going to take a long time. I'm moving my family to Chesterfield. The 911 issue alone is really troublesome.
Yeah, you can't wait a half an hour for the phone to be answered when you dial 911. And that's been happening for 3 years now.
Would you say 15 seconds? I don't. I forgot who told us that, but that's what the standard is
10.
around the. Is it 10?
Yeah.
Well, 10 to 15. I mean, at any rate, that's the kind of. It's what you're expecting.
Yeah.
The service you're expecting is someone's going to pick up the phone pretty quickly and help you
A
out.
friend of mine worked in the same place as the gentleman who died on Central Fields in Forest Park in view of the hospital when he went into a cardiac event, and 911 called, waiting for the ambulance. Oh, wait, they're coming. They're not coming. It took so long that he died. And she's like, I walk by his office.
The
and
woman
it's
during the
empty.
storm in the
Oh.
Grove. Same thing.
When the tree fell on her car in the Grove.
And those are the tragic examples. My wife was working on Washington Avenue 2 years ago, saw an assault, called 911. Nobody answered. After 30 minutes, she quit. And Diane Rademacher, one of the big cheerleaders of St. Louis, was on the program with us probably 3 years ago when she kept calling 911 and nobody was answering. She's written books about how great St. Louis is. And why Why is the Millennium still like that? Why isn't there a crosswalk on Chippewa at Ted Drew's?
That's shocking.
That is
That's
shocking. Why are there no speed bumps at Crown Candy?
Well, everything's good, huh?
Well, that's why we're going
that's
to
for
improve.
Daffodils, October 7th. 8:30 in
October
the morning.
7th. It's a week from Saturday. Anyone want to join us? Please do. C.W. Brennan at KMOX.com. Also want to thank our friends at Horseman Brothers and G.R. Robinson and Cheshire. Who else? Lodging Hospitality Management. Thanks for letting me get those names in.
Oh, yeah.
No problem,
Well,
man. And so, and
beautiful
you've Cardinals
daffodils.
tickets for people helping out.
That's right. If you volunteer, we'll have a Marty Pass, which is a voucher worth 2 tickets to the 2024 championship season. Hey, how about Matt Pauley last night, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to him tomorrow about it. Turns out as soon as he found out, he got right in the car and he drove 150 miles an hour to Milwaukee.
Well, I probably shouldn't share this, but they first asked me to do it, but I plant daffodils on Tuesday nights, so I couldn't do it. But actually, I was thinking about this just a month ago. I used to work with a Bill Pauley, who was in marketing for Garden View Care Center.
That's him.
That's Matt Pauley.
His dad.
That's his dad.
Yep.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together till about 4 weeks ago. I'm driving down the road, listening to Matt go, I wonder if that's Bill's son. Bill used to talk about this kid in broadcasting that he had about 20 years ago.
That's the guy.
Isn't that something? Can I give you one more new one before they were famous? Beth, my wife. Are they playing music here?
No.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, no.
I thought you're looking at me like,
no, I'm settling in.
they're getting out the cane, folks. If you don't have the video portion of the program, you can't see. They're getting the cane pulling me up.
I'm going to go
stage
have
right.
a smoke.
Yeah.
While you tell the story.
Have a piece of pizza from Cafe Manhattan.
So good. I've had 4.
That stuff is good. Before her sons were in the NFL, Donna Kelsey served on a national board on either community development or housing. I can't remember which, with my wife, Beth Storr.
Oh,
Mhm.
Really?
Yes.
Can you? We have been trying to get
Yeah, we've been
Travis
trying to get
Kelsey on.
Yeah,
Can
for like
you
2
know,
months.
Hey,
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
possible. We'll
we're
see what
gonna-
we
We
can
love
do.
back channels.
Yeah.
So if you could help us out.
Did you feel over the weekend? Wow. Kansas City is where it's at. And meanwhile, we can't even get a field that looks decent on television.
That's
Yeah. She didn't even come here to tour.
I know.
No, you're talking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She didn't come here. Springsteen's not coming here.
Springsteen
World
has
Cup's
a
not
peptic
coming here.
ulcer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but he
he-
wasn't coming here anyway, was he?
That's
But certainly
I don't
not
think
with
so.
the ulcer.
And Guns N' Roses outright canceled. They had an illness or something, and they were going to reschedule for
But-
October, and then it was now we're not coming at
But
all.
the zoo is free.
The zoo is free.
Moonlight Ramble,
The Moon-
Labor Day Parade, Fair St. Louis.
Oh.
What's going on?
We were having a good day talking about
I
all
know.
the good stuff.
That's why we need volunteers to improve St. Louis
October 7th,
Oh,
8:30.
at CW at KMOX.com.
You can help out Charlie plant the daffodils, and they're going to be treats too.
Yeah, Old Town Donuts is coming through with coffee and
Treats.
donuts.
Hey, is there still for the last the first 10 who call, is there still something special? The first 10 who volunteer?
Well, today, yes,
Yeah.
they'll get a ticket to the High Point and courtesy of Cinema St. Louis. It's a theater. You've seen the High Point Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've probably been in it.
Yes, I have.
So the first 10 people who email you
Today.
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 Well, I'm at 30 volunteers now, and I've been given 40 tickets for the movies.
You guys better
Well,
email
yeah.
CW Brennan at KMOX.com.
Right. And thanks to Bank of America, Powers Insurance. Man, the list of partners here is really long, so I can't go over all of them. But the Alpha Phi Omega at Washington University, that's a crazy bunch. The Concordia Seminary Student Association, they'll be just coming in from the bars
Yeah.
at
Oh,
8:30 in the
they're-
morning.
they're
I know
crazy.
that.
All right. I've taken too much time. Sorry.
Charlie, we love you.
He's
Thanks for
got to
coming in.
get to Pretzels and get a knish.
Oh, yeah. A
We have-
knish.
I haven't had a knish in
I
a
haven't
long
had a
time.
knish.
They did some crazy business on Sunday, the day before Yom Kippur.
Oh, I bet.
Boy,
Well, next time you come in, maybe bring some pretzels too.
Yeah.
well, if I get invited and not ghosted, Amy. Do you ever have trouble with Amy responding to texts like,
Wait, I don't think that was ghosting.
I've got
Ghost?
witnesses at Channel 9 who will tell me.
Sometimes.
We try and get in contact with her, and
Hold on.
Actually,
it's all in my
last
next
night,
book.
I texted her about a couple of things last night, important for the show today, and just nothing. Just absolutely
I
nothing
know.
for hours
Right.
and hours and hours.
Right. Deadsville.
Well, no, I
Mhm.
confirmed. I needed to respond. Thank you, because you passed along some contact information.
And she complains about a neighbor who doesn't respond to her. Have you
Oh,
heard
that's
of this
true.
guy?
The barking dog.
No. I moved,
Yes, that's
and that guy
correct.
never said hi. But then this
That wouldn't happen if you paid your rent.
I had to leave in the middle of the night. But this lady has a dog, and she leaves the dog in the apartment by himself, and he just barks and barks. And so I took audio. I recorded some audio of it and played it on air because it's that bad.
Did we send that tape to the Museum of Television Radio? Yeah. I'm just wondering, when they give Broadcaster of the Year, does she go pick it up or will they mail it?
Okay, you can
Wait
leave.
till you hear about the 10th best runner at the Boston Marathon, Charlie.
Oh.
That story. Whoa.
Yeah.
Blow your socks off.
Poor Rune Arledge, he's already retired.
So help Charlie
Yep.
plant daffodils October 7th. It's a Saturday, 8:30, right there at the Skinker intersection, right there off the highway. Charlie, thanks for coming in. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Dave, Tyler, Hoss, Little Joe, Adam, Michael, Jackie, Marlon, Jermaine. Thanks, everybody.
Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 with the Living Lucky with Luke Combs lottery experience. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium. One lucky winner will win $500,000 at the end of the show. Y'all feeling lucky? Enter today.
Enter your Living Lucky with Luke Combs Scratchers tickets at MoLottery.com for a chance to win a private concert experience and a chance at $500,000. Play it forward with Missouri Lottery and play responsibly.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children that they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Join KMOX and support our effort to collect diapers going on now through September 30th. Come out and donate new or unused diapers of any size and brand in support of National Diaper Need Awareness Week. September 27th, you can catch us at the Ruler Foods Collinsville, Illinois location. September 29th, see us at the Ruler Foods St. Anne location and make your donations. You can also drop off diapers at the St. Louis Diaper Bank, Monday through Friday, 10 till 2 p.m., all month long.
Have you been looking at the weathered exterior of your home and thinking we've got to do something? That's when you call Banner Construction, your James Hardy and Pella Windows specialist. Call now and buy with special same as cash financing, 569-1050, and have a banner day.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Glickert with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and I know the secret. My unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd love to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no HCG, no surgery, and no hypnosis, call my office now at 314-207-8600.
This is Debbie Monterey, and I can tell you, thanks to St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, it feels great. I lost 20 pounds in the first 30 days, and I've lost more than 30 pounds in 60 days. And you can do this. Real food that helps to speed up your metabolism. It is amazing to watch the pounds fall off.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. That's a half a pound to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 314-207-8600. That's 314-207-8600. Or online at moweightloss.com. Results may vary.
Make the Goodwill choice. Donate to Goodwill and help put people to work right here in St. Louis. And help yourself to a Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwich. Clean out those closets and cabinets. Take your donations to Goodwill during the month of September, and you'll get a coupon for an original Lion's Choice roast beef sandwich, courtesy of Lion's Choice. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill. It's the right choice for Lion's Choice. Hurry, supplies are limited. Get details at mersgoodwill.org.
Nobody brings you more value in fine jewelry than Diamonds Direct, and they're proving it again by rolling back interest rates to 0%. But you need to hurry. Now through Sunday only, you can make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0%. A $6,000 ring is just $100 a month. But hurry, this radical offer ends Sunday at 5 p.m. Don't miss this once-a-year blockbuster deal. Hurry, 5 years, zero interest financing. Get details and more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. On approved credit.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. Our goal to bring awareness to local organizations and share how they're bettering our community. Dream Builders for Equity is doing exactly that with a unique approach that touches youth, residents, businesses, and real estate to transform neighborhoods in North St. Louis City. Listen to Building Community with Busey Bank at KMOX.com/community banking.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold for Newbold Toyota and Newbold BMW, a family-owned dealership group that has been around for 50 years as a Toyota dealer and 25 years in O'Fallon, Illinois. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Charlie Brennan sees clearly thanks to Dr. Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
STL Today is named Under Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. We'll continue to make a difference, one case at a time.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Every day, there are thousands of people across our region who need help. United Way is here to help. Help feed and shelter our neighbors. Help teach, counsel, and keep children safe. Help families overcome crisis, find work, and stay healthy. Unite with us at helpingpeople.org.
It's wonderful. It's incredible.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Texters the 314-436-7900. This texter says St. Louis City has recently hired 26 911 dispatchers, filling a little over half the vacancies. That is true. It's a story from a couple of weeks ago, actually. So, they're getting there. And what did they say? That it was something like, even when they hire these folks, that it could take a year or so just to have everybody ready because they have to be trained. And, well, hopefully that will happen as quickly as possible. Also, this texter says, Chris is wrong. Taylor Swift could take down the NFL because husbands are going to choose wife and daughter over the NFL if Taylor tried to take it down. No. No. That's pretty lofty thinking. Wait a minute. What? I have to leave my family so I can watch the NFL? Okay.
Yeah, that's a dangerous.
Yeah,
that's a dangerous toss.
I wouldn't ask for that one. Hey, anything you missed, it's on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Download it, the podcast of the show. Listen live, KMOX.com as well. Amy and I will be back with you tomorrow at 10. Amy Marks Coors, Chris Ranji on KMOX.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health. So why don't we do something